あなたの空に命をいぶいて安らぎの色にすべてをあげるよ泣かないで二人の時が始まる 優しく私を呼んで出会った奇跡愛はこの世界に満ちてゆく羽ばたく二人の星にゆるりと染めてく美しい色に何でもできるよ始まりは終わりの中芽生え風に託す祈り永遠の想い輝くずっとずっとそばにいるよ
そんな風にタンポポの中で心を決めるとしたら、どんな時がいいの？
こんなに綺麗二人眩しい世界命乗せて風が舞う
それはね、その砂漠にたっ た一人だけでも花を愛してくれる人がいるって知った時、
Good evening, Kitten Brigade. Insane Kitten here. Alright, we're going back for another round of Saya no Uta. For its amazing conclusion. Hopefully. I'm gonna estimate there's probably like an hour, maybe at most 2 hours if I really stretch it out, left of the story. Turn you off now that the game is actually playing. Yeah, mean Lord monsters. Lol. Such lewdness. Sounds really low. Would I turn it down? Guess I can turn it up. I feel like I had it low for some reason. That seems pretty loud-ish. 10 tip for another unexpected 4 AM stream. Well, I have another visual novel lined up if you guys are interested. I was unsure what to play after this, so I guess we'll see. Actually, go back. I don't know what oh, I turned on dim them. I didn't really notice a big deal. I'll have to go back and see what exactly they do, but yeah. More Lord monster novels. The other one that I found was called Kara no Shoujo, and that one looked really interesting. It's like it's kind of like a crime thriller horror kind of VN from what it looks like. So it's like there's like detective work you do in it. But however, it is also another H one, but it's supposed to be really good. I was tempted to try that one out after this, if people wanted me to play some more VNs. Okay, I'll just read this. In truth, Koji is extremely uneasy about going it alone. At the same time, however, he knows that he mustn't depend on Ryoko. She's made it clear that she doesn't care about saving lives. Teaming up with her will only make it more difficult to salvage something, anything, out of this nightmare.
Tono-kun.
Ryoko calls just before Koji steps out the door.
仮にも一度は殺されかかってるんだ。もう二度と殺されるな。
Don't die. By the way, I see there are billions on your wish list. Great game, by the way. Oh, I don't really know too much about it, but I put it on my wish list just because I know a few friends recommended it. I just trying to see what's up. I'm about to go, and we can try playing RE5 next Friday. It doesn't have to be next Friday. Like I said, I'm not gonna reserve RE5 for like Freaky Fridays, so we can play RE5 anytime you're available. So that can happen anytime outside of Fridays. Fridays I'll pretty much just reserve for other kind of horror, scary games. So yeah, but yeah, just let me know. It can even be tomorrow or even after this game if you're up for it. She picks up something from the table and casually tosses it to Koji. When Koji catches it, he feels its solid weight fill his hand.
これは
Koji stares at the menacing shape of cold metal. It's a revolver, the same one that was clenched in Ogai's skeletal fist.
あと4発入ってる。安全装置はない。
There's
引き金を引くだけで弾が出る。
You can have guns that don't have safeties on them?
どこでどう使うかは君の判断に任せるよ。
If Koji were his usual cautious self, he would reject the dangerous offering. Surely no good can come from the barrel of a gun. And yet, without knowing it, Koji has already set foot in Ryoko's world. Choosing instinct over reason, he accepts the small but deadly weapon and slides it into his pocket. We can do it, have this. I don't know if I'm gonna be up. Okay, well, it's up to you. Like, if you're still up by the time I finish this, because I don't even know that there's very much left of this game. I think, to be honest, there's probably only about an hour left. Yes, they are called illegal guns. Is this true? Oh, okay. They can make them like that, though? Like, to make him like that? In the back of his mind... Oh wait, hold on. There's no question that Koji intends to save Yo and bring Fuminori to answer for his crimes. In the back of his mind, however, he can hear the footsteps of Ruin approaching. Damn, Ruin. When he steps out of the cabin's front door, Koji shivers as the wind tears into his skin. He survived at the bottom of a well when it was snowing. I guess it wasn't snowing when he was stuck in the well. To his surprise, the outside air is even colder than the mud at the bottom of the well. Perhaps the cramped space mitigated the cold somewhat. If he had been exposed to this chill all night long, he would surely have frozen to death. The safety can be removed without it illegal AF. Oh wait. Oh, the safety can be removed, making it illegal AF. Okay, gotcha. I don't know how guns work, so I don't know how easy it is to remove that portion of the gun. Koshi finds 2 cars parked in the yard. The Mini next to his Accord must be Ryoko's. Oh, cool. She's got a Mini. Good choice of a car. When he sits behind the wheel of his car, he gets some relief from the feeling that he has taken the first step, however small, back into his world. He sips the sports drink, wetting his parched throat, then washes down some jelly. His stomach rebels at the sudden influx of food after 36 hours on empty, but he manages to force down the urge to vomit. Koji needs the energy. No matter how hard it is, he must regain enough stamina to overcome the challenges ahead. After forcing down as much food as he can handle, Koji leans back in his seat and takes a short break. When he begins to feel like himself again, he reaches into the back seat and pulls a spare cell phone out of his bag. He never expected that carrying 2 phones would be such a stroke of luck. Who carries around a spare phone? Do you guys carry around a spare phone? It seems kind of expensive to be carrying around a spare phone, but I guess you could get like a cheap, like one of those throwaway type cell phones in case of emergencies. As he calls up Fuminori's number and prepares to hit send, Koji is overcome by a flood of emotion. Yes, why not? Because most people these days don't remember numbers. It's like people just basically have like the one phone with all the numbers stored in it, right? But yeah, I could see that being, you know, probably good in emergencies to actually memorize numbers in your head. As he calls up Fuminori's number and prepares to hit send, Koji is overcome by a flood of emotion. Rage, despair, sorrow, pity. He's unable to decide what to feel towards his friend. However, there's no time to dwell on the past. Every second lost diminishes the chance of saving Omi and Yo. Koji refuses to consider that it may already be too late. He steels himself and presses the button, then holds the phone to his ear as it rings. The shrill sound seems to go on for longer than it ever has in his life. Wait, who is he calling? He was calling Fuminori. Oh, why is he calling Fuminori? You're taking away the element of surprise by calling him and letting him know you're still alive. One is for game, on the second is for people. I see. Right now, Fuminori's phone must be displaying the name of the caller. Koji wonders what his reaction will be when he sees it. The call goes through. In the silence on the other end of the phone, Koji senses surprise, apprehension, and dark fury. Feeling slightly gratified, Koji delivers the first jab.
Yo, そんなに意外か、死人からの電話は。驚いたね。どうやって。
As Koji is about to answer, an idea suddenly comes to him.
井戸の底に仕掛けがあったのさ。
Koji
地
says,
下の隠し部屋に行くためのな。
a plan forming rapidly in his mind. He pauses to let that sink in. Then, with satisfaction filling his voice, he says,
会えたぜ。大貝正彦。
oh, he's setting a trap for him. Fuminori's gasp tells Koji that the advantage is his. Keeping his voice bold, he decides to further exaggerate the truth.
何もかも分かった。さやってやつのことも全部。何もかもバラしてやる。ところ構わずにぶちまけてやる。貴様は。
It's obvious from Fuminori's tone that rage has overwhelmed his reason. Koji's bluff is working perfectly. His victory is tainted, however, as Fuminori's response to the name Saya brings a cry of anguish from the corner of his heart that still wants to believe his friend can be saved.
咲坂君がこのサヤと呼ばれるものとすでに深く関わっているのなら
Ryoko's words play back in his head, sounding even colder than before.
彼はもう引き返せないところまで踏み込んでいる
He mustn't allow emotion to sway him.
海のり、近江と筑波はどこだ？
Koji suddenly switches topics, trying to keep Fuminori off balance. It all comes down to this.
俺にだって情けはある。お前の出方次第では考えんでもない。お前がこれ以上誰も傷つけないというのなら、俺にしたことは忘れてやる。俺だってこれ以上、お前と鞘に関わり合いを持つのは願い下げなんだ。
Fuminori's voice trails off. He's obviously trying to decide how far Koji can be trusted and whether there's room for negotiation. Fuminori has been called out, and now it's time for him to show his hand. So he still doesn't know that he and Saya have eaten Omi, technically. Fuminori pauses, then gives a knowing chuckle that sends chills up Koji's spine. Koji is relieved to learn Yo's location and that she is at least still alive, if you can call it that. At the same time, however, he remembers that horrifying phone call. It is clear now that Fuminori played some part in Yo's suffering. Had she already fallen into his trap back then? What has happened to her? How is she being treated? What the command if you like to go AFK? I think there's a exclamation lurk. You can do that. It doesn't really do anything, but just tells people you're lurking. Fuminori says with venomous sarcasm. Okay, Yo was getting eaten too if you know, but I mean, technically she wasn't actually, but yeah. Koji feels despair settle over his soul. How much lower will this man go? Must Fuminori seek out and destroy every memory of the friendship they once shared?
筑波を解放しろ。彼女の安全を確認したら、お前らについての証拠を破棄してやる。信用できるか？そっちが先に。お前に選択の余地を与えるつもりはないよ、
Koji instinctively realizes that it's dangerous to push his bluff any further. And see you later, King Dingus. Thanks for the lurk. He hangs up without waiting for a response. Fuminori doesn't know that Koji is still at the cabin in Tochigi. Right now, he's probably worrying about whether Koji will show up in 1 hour or 1 minute. Koji hopes that he'll be able to take advantage of Fuminori's confusion. He shouldn't even called him in the first place. He should have like busted into his place to like ambush him. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's not a very good plan. 3 hours. That's how long it will take to race all the way back to Tokyo. Driving? I wonder how long it took when Fuminori was walking all the way from this cabin all the way back to his home in Tokyo, because it said he walked all the way through the mountains to like the train station, and then the train station took like an hour to his home. So it's like, how long did he spend walking all the way from that mountain cabin? Koji is afraid that his body won't carry him through such a long drive. His mind is clear, but his limbs still feel half asleep, like they're weighted down with lead. Although he knows that he has to stay resolute, Koji still longs for the peace he had just a few days ago, when life or death struggles were the furthest thing from his mind. Back then, he could never have imagined himself fighting to rescue a friend from the clutches of a madman. With each passing moment, he feels himself becoming less like the person he was. When all of this is over, will he be able to return to his old life? Or will this change continue until it has consumed him utterly? Time is against him. Every second that passes is wasted. Even so, he decides to allow himself just 5 minutes of weakness. For exactly 5 minutes, he leans against the steering wheel and cries. and when his tears have run dry and his heart is calm, Koji starts up his accord and drives away. Poor Koji. Koji will most likely follow. He thinks that Yo can still be saved. However, I'm not abandoning this house just to run away. As long as Koji knows our location, we're stuck on the defensive. Leaving gives me the chance to regain the initiative and deal with him at a place of my choosing. The next time we meet, I'll kill him with my own 2 hands. I'll make sure to wring every last drop of life out of his body. A shiver runs through me as I anticipate the battle ahead, and my bloodlust burns like orgasmic fire. Orgasmic. When Ryoko looks up, the morning sun is already streaming in through the window. Tired from the hours of poring over files, she removes her glasses and massages her aching eyes. Her dreams are always filled with horror, yet the night she had just spent was more nightmarish than them all, and it's not over yet. She's just only set foot on the threshold. As expected, the files left by Ogai Masahiko were not the sort that Ryoko could simply pick up and read. Fortunately, Ogai had been too old-fashioned to put his trust in electronic media. If he'd encrypted his files on a computer, she'd have had to find a hacker to decipher them. In fact, he had not employed any kind of code in his writing. That would have been too time-consuming by hand. The method of obfuscation he did use was quite simple. Of the files Ryoko pulled from his underground lab, the majority turned out to be notes and theses from Ogai's days as a student. The important papers were the diaries and research notes that had been scattered throughout the piles of worthless scrap. At first, she was unable to understand the documents that she had found. Each sheet was covered with text on one side and blank on the other. Each line was completely unrelated to the next, making it impossible to glean any meaning from the whole. The trick revealed itself, however, when she was sorting the pages that made no sense. She found that each line continued on the same line of a different page. In Ogai's diary, for example, the first day began on the first line, then continued not with the next line, but with the first line on the next page. Similarly, the second day was the second line, third day was the third line, and so on and so forth. After filling all the lines on one set of pages, Ogai had torn them out and scattered them among his other files. There was no regularity to how the pages were numbered, of course. Unable to locate any sort of key or legend, Ryoko had no choice but to figure out the page order manually. Despite not knowing that the task would be exhausting, Ryoko set to it valiantly. After separating all of the loose leaf page sheets from the jumbled files, she began to painstakingly process of linking pages together according to the contents of the first line. She found that Ogai had dismantled and scattered his diary each time he completed a number of days equal to the lines on one page, and had done the same with his research notes every 30 pages or so. The diary was much easier to restore because the entries varied in length. Later pages had a larger number of blank lines. The page with only one line, therefore, was the last page of the diary, and those with the most blank spaces would be considered closer to the end. Ryoko's perseverance has paid off, for she had already succeeded in restoring several volumes of Ogai's diary. As she reads them, she feels despair draining her spirit, as it has so many times before. This cursed feeling of powerlessness that comes with knowing hidden truths. Those who have tasted it once shall be beaten down by it again and again until the day they die. All secrets are connected, after all. Once you've glimpsed even this tiniest fraction of the world's true face, you have no choice but to watch in horror as the veil rolls back itself, inch by inch. All that remains is to wait for the day when insanity will crush your reason under its ever-mounting weight. I have succeeded in communicating with the organism. It shows enormous curiosity, and its intelligence is beyond doubt. See research notes for confirmed voice patterns and body language. Its appetite for knowledge is insatiable, and its learning efficiency is off the charts. However, it exhibits absolutely no desire to be recognized as an individual. Its ego appears to be quite weak, suggesting a psyche wholly unlike that of a human. The speed of the organism's linguistic development is astounding. When I laughed at its mispronunciations, it immediately picked up the concept of puns. Ever since, it has been employing its entire vocabulary in an attempt to find puns that will make me laugh. Perhaps in a few days' time, it would have learned enough language for us to communicate freely. The organism's command of spoken language is not sufficient to facilitate higher-level discourse, but although it has regaled me with questions all day, it remains unable to answer any of mine. Its reply suggests that it only gained awareness after materializing in this universe. It has no knowledge of where it came from. While I am disappointed, the fact that it has reached this level of intelligence only 1 week after starting to think tells me that there is no end to what I can learn from it. Hypothesis. It is not a naturally occurring organism, but was created by an even more sophisticated sentient life form. This would explain why it has no ego yet possesses such a hunger for knowledge. It might be some sort of reconnaissance drone that was sent here from another world. It's an alien? Or she's an alien? Ryoko smiles humorlessly for the umpteenth time since she started reading. How wonderful it would be if she could laugh the diary off as the delusions of a madman or the work of a science fiction writer. Alas, she knows far too much. When she thinks back to the many horrors that Ogai brought into her life, the words of horror take on chilling credibility. I gotta turn down the music just a touch. I have confirmed that the organism's brain power far surpasses any humans. This morning I taught it about prime numbers. After I explained the Lucas-Lemmer test for Mersenne primes, it immediately began to list examples that it had calculated in its head. I was only able to confirm by memory up to number 10, M889, but it continued to list further examples without any trouble. I left it to its calculations, and when I returned a few hours later, I discovered it had written down more than 70 of them. Aw, shit, we have a Twitch baby now, let's go! What's up, Amy? And thank you for that sub! 9 months, holy crap. That's like forever ago. 9 months. So many months. Here's some emote love for that. Just got home a few minutes ago, gonna chill for a bit before passing out. Alrighty, Emmy. Apparently you didn't read the stream title though. I said there's no Amis allowed. Wait, did I say that? I did. No Amis allowed. Whoa. You broke the stream title rule. Are names the same color now? Yes, they pretty much are. I don't know what happened. Did you change that? Did you change that recently? Yeah, you're in the stream title. You're so famous. Where was I? Oh, computers all over the world are currently working to calculate Mersenne primes, but the last one I remember being found was the 39th back in 2001. When I entered several of the results into my laptop and ran the Lucas-Lemmer tests on them, I found that every one was correct. Same is no doubt true of the rest. After all, the organism has never shown the pathological need for respect that would lead it to lie about its accomplishments. I see no reason to doubt its veracity. My name matches my sub-badge color, Puggies. Probably because it's like one of my favorite colors, so that's why I'm always using blue. No, Puggies, Peppa Hands, no Peppa Hands! I'm sorry, I don't know where Peppa Hands is. I'll need to add that. If you send me a link to Peppa Hands, I can add it. If I could reveal to the world an expedient method for discovering Mersenne primes, the prize money would make me a billionaire. Of course, my current research is worth far more than any sum of money. I must keep it a secret. Yeah, I have about the same color sub badge in EchoStream now, so a bit donut for light blue bit badge. Oh, okay. And then change my name color to match. Oh, okay, gotcha. No worries. I don't mind. It doesn't bother me. I mean, it's there. Twitch doesn't have a lot of colors to pick from, so, or do they? Does Twitch actually? I'm curious. Can you like more colors? Oh, you have to like pay for Twitch Turbo for more colors. You have to pay $10 a month just to get more colors. That's nice. Yeah, it's nice. I have unlimited colors because I have Prime. Oh, Tim. Okay, sure. No worries. That's cool. The them Franker emotes. Alrighty. Need them Pepe hands. Yeah, I haven't spent any time on like digging up like all the cool emotes on there. So what I have there is just what I found, like in like 10 minutes of searching. The organism's computational speed exceeds that of even the most powerful supercomputers. I can only conclude that its cognitive faculties are beyond anything humanity can imagine. At the organism's request, we have begun a new field of study. Despite its immeasurable aptitude for mathematics, it now desires to concentrate on sociology and the natural sciences. Perhaps our math problems are simply too elementary for it. It has shown an especially keen interest in the means by which organisms reproduce and multiply. As it possesses nothing that could be called emotion, I hesitate to use this description, but when it learned about DNA, it seemed somehow excited. I still need to find myself more to use. Gotcha. Oh, 3 good ones? Nice. I'll check that out for sure later after the stream. In fact, the organism itself seemed surprised by its reaction. When asked about the nature of the impulse, the organism decided to label it instinct. If this description is indeed accurate, then this is an extremely interesting development. It would mean that there is a deeper level to its psyche than just the knowledge it has acquired since coming to this world. If I can use this discovery to trace its root, I might be able to learn what it truly is. So wait, the doctor doesn't even know what it is? Note: candidates for the plane and the world of the organism's origin are discussed on the Silver Key, filed separately. I spent the whole day carrying books into its room. Apparently the organism is no longer satisfied by the knowledge I am able to impart. It should come as no surprise considering its linguistic prowess, but the speed at which it consumes text is astounding. The diary continues for some time, chronicling the intimate relationship between Ogai and it. In the back of her mind, Ryoko imagines the old doctor climbing down the well in the middle of the night to hold congress with some inhuman creature in that bizarre laboratory. The image is disturbingly similar to the nightmares that have shattered the silence of many nights with her screams. What follows, however, makes her worst nightmares pale in comparison. The organism has made a very strange request. This is the first time it has asked for anything other than food and reading materials. I can hardly believe it, but it wants to consume the sperm of living creatures. This is separate from its desire for food. Once again, it is describing this impulse as instinctive. Yo, what's up? Hello, Jacob. How you doing? How you doing? We're just playing a visual novel here. Now that it has declared itself a life form that requires the seed of males, it has begun to identify itself as female. After today, I suppose I shall have to start calling the organism a she. Also, just as a heads up, this is an H game. I did not realize that it was an H game when I started this visual novel. I knew that there was a chance, but I did not know when I started it. So I'm being really careful about like censoring those parts as they come up. But yeah. Anyways. Is the personality that she has begun to exhibit really just an imitation created for her amusement? Doing good, just woke up. That's cool, that's cool. We're just, So if you just woke up, it's like, what, 7 there? No, no censorship needed. Is that allowed? Is it allowed on Twitch? I don't know. See, I'm not sure, like, what exactly is allowed on Twitch, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful here. Because there's a lot of rules on Twitch, but sometimes they're not fully enforced. Although it seems more like they're enforced if you get reported. No, it's not allowed. Okay, gotcha. But I'm under the impression that it doesn't get enforced unless someone reports it. Not that I don't think anyone will. I think it's to be safe. Right? Let's see. She identifies ever since she started to immerse herself in our literature, she has been acting astonishingly human. She identifies herself as female and already possesses an enormous store of cultural knowledge. Is she trying to create a human identity for herself based on these? I'll report if censored. So I'll be damned if I do and damned if I don't. Unless it's reported or Twitch staff comes in, nothing will be done about it typically. Gotcha, but if there's a lurker that wants to find a clip to send in for a fail comp, that can get you unwanted attention. I see, I see. I don't even know what the hell is a fail comp. Like like a series of fails? What does comp stand for? Compilation. There you go. Twitch fails, okay. Compilations. There you go. That's probably what you meant by comps. I've seen her laugh, grow angry, and today, she cried. Is she just copying her emotional displays? If not, then she is already. Is the soul something that any intelligent life form can acquire? I feel that I am witnessing something more mysterious than the genesis of life itself. Today is her birthday. Although it is a year late, I want to give her a special gift. Saya was the name of my mother's cat. In childhood, she was my sole friend and my beloved. I decided long ago that if I were ever blessed with children, I would give this name to my daughter. Happy birthday, Saya. Let this be the name of your soul. You have earned it. The ability that Saya has discovered in herself is showing more extraordinary results each day. I have no doubts that she's kind of an artist, or she's a kind of artist. What exactly is it that she created in her body was from the rat semen I gave her. Wait, what exactly is it that she created in her body? Okay. At this point, I can only surmise that it is a type of retrovirus, a reverse transcriptase enzyme that creates exactly what she desires. From a rat? Or rat semen, rather. That's insane. The rats that have been transformed by her art are so very beautiful now. I know, right? So Saya has the ability to like, change like the body to her will, so she can transform people however she likes. It's kind of weird. The many enzymes secreted by her body and the various appendages she uses are discussed in detail in my biological observations, filed separately. Here, I will say this. By witnessing Saya perform her operations on several rats, I have gained much confidence in my theory that her body is designed specifically to manipulate the biology of other organisms. So basically that's her main skill. Ryoko looks grimly at the still unsorted mountain of research notes. When she finally manages to separate those papers, she will probably find the many other files mentioned in the diary. Ogai's biological observations, at the very least. She wants to look through those before facing the thing called Saya. Under no circumstances does she want to go into battle unprepared. She looks at her watch and sees that it is already 7 in the morning. Assuming Tono Koji made no stops, he should be arriving in Tokyo about now. Now that it's too late, she wishes she'd stopped that stubborn fool from leaving, even if she'd had to shoot him in the leg to do it. Oh, so she stayed behind to look at the research papers and he just ran ahead. That wasn't very wise. Koji pulls up 2 blocks away from the Sakisaka house and stares at the silent building. In the bright light of morning, the house seems shrouded in a dark miasma, like a black hole torn out of the landscape. Is it just a figment of Koji's imagination? Every window is closed, offering no glimpse of the inside. Koji has no way of knowing whether Fuminori is home. A pedestrian walks his dog down the street, glancing back at Koji after he passes by the Accord. Koji isn't surprised by the attention. He hasn't bathed or changed clothes since spending the night buried in mud, so he must look like a vagrant even inside his car. When he looks into the rearview mirror, he sees the haggard visage of a man with one foot in the grave staring back at him. It's hard to believe that the tired, unshaven face is really his. If he stays here for too long, someone might report him to the police. He'd better pull himself together and get moving. He drives slowly up to the front of Fuminori's house, quickly checks to make sure no one is around, and gets out of the car. Anyone who might be in the house probably heard the sound of the engine, but there's no point in worrying about that now. Koji walks swiftly through the gate and the yard to the front door. He puts his hand on the doorknob, foregoing the bell. The time for such pleasantries has passed. The door is unlocked, and the knob turns easily in his hand. He puts his ear to the door and listens for any sign of life. He's acting like a thief, he realizes, with some shame, but that is the least of his worries now. No sound from within. After checking the street again to make sure no one is looking, he quickly opens the door and disappears inside. Do they not lock their door? Did they not believe in locking their doors? An indescribable stink immediately assaults his nostrils. He's already prepared for anything, however, so rather than discourage him, the stench only sharpens his caution to a razor's edge. He's crossed this threshold many times in the past, and his memories of days spent here are still bright. What's it mean to lock a door? Do you not lock your door either? I'm genuinely confused. What? Really? So why? Why does he feel the same ominous, blood-chilling aura that permeated Ogai's home and cabin? Anger and sorrow seize Koji's heart, as though a dear friend's grave has been defiled. Is that why I have a key for my door? Is that what it does? Don't you have like roommates? Don't you guys lock your door? I thought it only unlocked it. Oh, okay. I mean, it does. It does unlock it. I didn't know it was possible to lock it first. Well, how the hell do you lock your door when you leave your house? Thought it just did it on its own when you left the house. Some doors, some locks do actually. There are smart locks where you don't actually require having to lock the door because it's electronically locked. So, yeah, there's that if you want. Why don't I have a smart lock then? I don't know. Go get one then, or do I? Ami's gonna go check now, isn't he? Koji doesn't remove his shoes before entering. He knows why he's here, and it's not to be polite. Mine locks on its own. Yeah, it's cool. Do roommates count as smart locks? No. I wouldn't say that. My door is always locked no matter if I'm home or not. Wait, then how do you go in and out of the door, Jake, if it's always locked? You gotta unlock that door to be able to enter through it, don't you? So technically it's not always locked. Right? Right? Eh? Eh? No. Just yeah. I mean, yeah, there's that too. If you don't have a key. Just not in place. Always locked, just not in place. Oh, boom. Yeah, this is true. But then it's not really doing very much if it's locked, but on your floor instead of in the door frame where it's supposed to be. So yeah. You would just end up with a big gaping hole for a door. It could be but why would you need a raft if you live nowhere near like a source of water and like you now have a gaping hole for an entrance? Because then people will just be able to come and go as they like. Flashlight. Doors can have dreams too, you know. Wait, what? How do you know that how do you know that that's an upgrade dream for a door to become a raft? I mean, I guess it gets tired of being in one place all the time, and a raft might mean it could travel. Let it be a raft, damn it! Alright. Every storm shutter is closed, filling the house with gloom, and he can see nothing but pitch black darkness through the open doors in the hallway. He should have brought his flashlight from the car, he thinks ruefully, then remembers that he dropped the light when Fuminori attacked him. It's still lying in the backyard of the cabin in Tochigi. The house might be empty, then again, it might not. Each particle of air seems charged with silent menace. Is it too much to let a giant piece of wood get wet when it grows up? I mean, it might break it down, you know. Like, the wood's gonna, like, if it's made out of wood anyways, because some doors aren't actually really made out of wood, but if the door is made out of wood and it becomes a raft, then it might, like, swell up and stuff if it's not got the right coatings on it. Don't ruin my sexual joke. I built it up so well. This is why Ami was not allowed in the stream. Let us note this. Is this enemy lurking somewhere in the darkness? It's not hard to imagine Fuminori waiting for a chance to take him by surprise and finish what the well failed to. The well almost killed him. Rude. Koji walks down the first floor hallway, then he climbs the stairs and checks the second floor too. He moves slowly and carefully, keeping his senses sharp, but feels nothing watching him from the shadows. After completing his round safely, he is convinced that the house is empty. He suddenly realizes that his right hand is touching the cold steel of the gun in his pocket. Did he intend to draw the weapon upon encountering Fuminori? Now that Koji thinks about it, his own actions seem mysterious to him. What does he plan to do when he meets Fuminori? Will he lay into him with curses and epithets? Epithets? Will he force him to turn himself in? Or will he? Koji shakes his head. This isn't the time for such hopeless questions. If he keeps thinking, he'll stop moving. If he stops moving, fear will paralyze him forever. His only choice is to keep marching on. He has to close the distance to his prey. In any case, Fuminori isn't home. What form their reunion takes will probably be decided at the moment of their meeting. All Koji has to do is not hesitate when the time comes. Still, why does the whole house smell like stagnant water? It's been 3 months since Fuminori distanced himself from his friends. Just what kind of life has he been leading all this time? Koji enters the living room and feels along the wall for the light switch. The moment he flips it on, the answer to his question is revealed. So, someone was asking, I can't remember who it was. They were asked, actually, yeah, it was debated, I think. So he was thinking that if the colors look pleasing to, who is it? Not Koji, Fuminori, that it would look all bloodstained. But in reality, it looks like this. Their paint job is just like this crazy, insane mess of colors. And this looks pleasing to Fuminori through his eyes. But this is what it looks like to normal eyes. How far has Fuminori gone? Koji realizes that this is the first time he has encountered Fuminori's insanity in visible form. From the dust piled in the corners of the room, it is clear that the paint was not applied recently. How many nights has Fuminori spent surrounded by this maddening array of colors? He's even like painted his TV and stuff. I guess he didn't have any need for the TV. Why, if such obvious signs were available, why didn't Koji realize that something was wrong before it got this bad? Was he deaf to the dying screams of Fuminori's sanity? Was their friendship really so worthless? As he stands petrified in the unfamiliar living room, Koji directs his anger entirely at himself. If he could, he would like nothing more than to apologize to Fuminori for failing to help him through his suffering. Koji feels that he might have been able to save his friend. Perhaps he is arrogant to think so, but if so, it is arrogance born of kindness. Koji passes through the living room and opens the sliding door that leads to the kitchen. When he enters, he finds that the most disturbing of the house's many stenches is strongest here. Blood. The room is redolent with the smell of countless layers of blood grown stale over time. He peers into the well-used sink. Around the rim, he sees faint brownish red blotches that water alone couldn't rinse off. Even more obvious are the stains on the dish rag. Such stains are proof that the rag has been used and reused countless times, but what it could have been used on to make it that sickening burgundy color? Koji stares at the refrigerator next to the counter as though it were a monster waiting to swallow him whole. He stands motionless until he is able to work up the courage simply to touch it. Then he steels himself, grabs the thick handle, and opens the door. First, he'll check the freezer, then the refrigerator. Oh, what are we gonna see? Are we gonna see something? No. The freezer is packed with frozen meat of varying shapes and sizes. As each piece is wrapped tightly and frosted over plastic, he can't tell what kind of meat it is. The meat in the refrigerator has already been thawed for consumption. Oh my god. That's horrifying. For a while, he can only stare in disbelief at the 5 fingers beckoning to him from the back of the compartment. Gross. I'm just trying to actually like tell what parts are in here. They are the long, slender fingers of a woman. their bluish tinge giving them the appearance of waxworks. Yeah, it's gross. I was talking to my friend that I was playing this game, and he said that he couldn't handle raw meat for like 2 weeks after playing this game. Looks like a normal Sunday dinner. This doesn't really bother me too much, though. I'm not gonna have any problems with handling meats. Not that I eat a lot of meats, but yeah. Koji is unable to remember what Omi's hands looked like, even though he has kissed her fingers countless times. So, what did I come into? This is exactly what I need to see while I'm so. I'm sorry, Vegeta. Look away. Look away. This game is full of horrific, like, grotesque scenes. Actually, I'm curious. There's this option, blur and dim. So I wonder if I turn that on. Is it dimmed? Does it look dimmed? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it blurred any of it. Maybe because it's already on? Disabled while skipping. I don't know, I've turned this on before and it didn't look like it made much of a difference. No, it's already like that, see? The greenish tinge I think is coming from this background for the text. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, it doesn't look blurred. Cause like, if it was blurred, it would look hella blurred. I would assume. Actually, can I change that background color? I don't think I can. Oh look, you can actually have processor priority. I don't even know what this means, but I guess I can turn that up a little bit. Not that I think it's really taking a lot. Wait, there's movies in here? Good thing I haven't had the strength to eat today. Oh no, what happened, man? Are you okay? Well, I guess you're not okay. You're sick, but like, what are you sick with? But just to give you guys some context for those who have not kept up with the story, Saya killed Omi because Omi trespassed into the house, and Omi was there to yell at Fuminori after he kind of like said some stuff to Yo earlier in the game, like some really cold-hearted stuff, and so Omi was gonna go over there to yell him out or whatever, show him a piece of her mind, and she got ambushed by Saya. Saya killed her, and they basically chopped her up and are saving her parts for leftovers. But nah, this kind of stuff doesn't bother me. It kind of makes me hungry, to be honest. You should eat some soup or something. Yeah, soup is good. I plan to when my body isn't aching so much. Take some... Are you like feeling like feverish? Maybe you should take some Tylenol. A hobo coughed to me and got me sick. Oh god. Really? Yeah, if you should maybe take some Tylenol, get the aches and pains and fever down, and try and get some food. Because if you can get some food in you, that you might feel better sooner. Holy shit, dude. Dang. Damn that hobo. Alright. When he finished crying after his conversation with Fuminori, Koji promised himself that he would not cry again, and in fact, he does not. Hold on, I feel like I need to turn down this music. This track is particularly, like, loud. I think this track is called, like, Insanity or something. Yeah, that's pretty lame. He regrets his decision. He indulged himself too early. He should have saved his soothing tears for this moment, for now he knows that truly nothing is sacred. At last his doubts about Fuminori have been utterly obliterated. Wait, he feels like he knows those are her fingers? It says Koji is unable to remember what Omi's hands look like, even though he has kissed her fingers countless times. I guess he believes that these are Omi's hands or something like that. nearly beat his ass, but he was an old man. Guess I should. What? I had someone sneeze on me in a computer lab once, and they said sorry and just went back to working. Looking back at it, I should have shoved that guy to the floor. That's disgusting when people, like, sneeze or cough in your direction. Like, I don't care if it really wasn't on purpose. You should be more considerate about your surroundings. Yeah, well, either of us could have gotten in trouble for that, yeah, in school. It's true. Koji pulls Olgai's revolver out of his pocket and wraps his hands around its grip like he would a charm. Its definite presence, its promise of merciful annihilation, is the only thing keeping his sanity intact. He will surely use it to kill Sakisaka Fuminori. Not for revenge, not for justice, but to make this world once more a place governed by reason. For that purpose alone, he must eliminate the anomaly. The funny thing about this, about Omi's parts in the fridge, is that Fuminori doesn't realize that it's Omi, because Saya had already eviscerated her by that point, and when he came across Saya eating the parts, he, I don't know, I guess he thought it was normal that she was eating on the floor, or it was the first time he'd seen her eating, so he was intrigued by that, more intrigued by that, the fact that she was eating off the floor. But he tried some of the bits that he saw, and yeah. Wait, is it me or does the stream keep freezing? It looks like it's okay to me. I see a few bumps in the stream health, but so far right now it looks excellent, so it's in the green right now, for now. He breathes deep. Oh wait, what was I saying? But anyways, Fuminori does not know that that's Omi in the fridge, because Saya didn't tell him that it was his friend. I guess because she knew it was his friend and she didn't want to like say or like alarm him or anything. It's freezed a few times for me too, not a whole lot though. I see. You guys could try turning down the quality. Maybe that might help a little bit with the stuttering. I don't know. But looking at the stream health, it looks okay. It's freezing every 2 seconds for me. Could be my interwebs. Well, if someone else is saying that it's freezing, maybe it's my end. I don't know. Ah well. Good thing it's not a very motion type game. there's just mostly like still images anyways. He breathes deep, exhales, then lifts his hand before his face and stares at his spread fingers. Alright, he's not shaking. He's prepared to face his new objective. Koji sticks the revolver back into his pocket and pulls out his phone. Oh! Choice time. Choice time. Let's save choice. Exit. So this is the second choice we're encountering in this game. Okay, so who should we call? Fuminori or Ryoko? So just to help you in your decision making, Fuminori is the guy who's gone insane and his supposed friend that he's like really angry about, and it's his house that he's in right now. And Ryoko is the doctor that was helping him, who helped him out of the well. But anyways, I'm gonna grab some water. I don't have any water, so I'll be back, and we'll pick something. Okay, I'm back. Nobody suggested anything. Nobody suggested a decision. Fuminori or Ryoko? So Fuminori is basically his enemy. Ryoko is his ally, so to speak, in this situation. What should we pick? Let's go with the first one. I think that might be the bad choice to call this guy, but it might be the shorter route, and then we can come back and do the longer route. But I guess we'll see. Fuminori it is. It's time to finish this. Just as he promised earlier, Koji calls Fuminori again. Call goes through immediately. He must have been waiting for it.
やあ、コージ。今どこだい？
どこだろうと関係ないだろう。
As soon as Koji responds, a shrill ringing fills the house. Startled, Koji spins around and looks into the hallway. The house phone is flashing to signal an incoming call.
なるほど。やっぱり僕の家に来たか。
Oh, that's smart. He called his own home to see if he was inside of his house. Koji fell for it. Fuminori is the one calling the house, and now he knows exactly where Koji is. He must have predicted that this would be Koji's first stop, and that Koji would call him upon finding it empty.
じゃあもう見られちゃったんだろうね。
ああ、
Koji keeps his voice bold to conceal his horror. When did Fuminori become so cunning?
しばらく会わないうちにえらく悪食になったらしいな。一体今日まで何人殺した？
いや、僕はまだ一人だけ。
Fuminori replies unapologetically, his tone upbeat.
でも、解体だけなら3、4人ってとこかな。かなり慣れたよ。剣を切ったり血抜きしたりとか。
Koji no longer feels sadness or horror when faced with Fuminori's inhumanity. There's only the cold desire to kill the creature speaking such revolting words with his friend's voice.
貴様、近江を殺したな。知らないっていうのは嘘だな。
どうなんだろう。
Fuminori mutters, seeming somehow embarrassed.
正直言うとね、最初に食べたのがもしかしたら近江だったかもしれないんだ。
Welcome back.
ちょうど彼女が消えたその日だし。
Oh, so now he's like sort of realizing that that might have been Omi that he ate. Back. Keep going.
いや、誰の死体かなんてわからないありさまだったからさ。
Koji had already abandoned hope, but it's still a shock to hear of his lover's brutal end.
つくばもか。
いや、彼女はちゃんとここにいる。僕だってバカじゃない。彼女は取引の材料なんだろう。
Fuminori says with an exasperated chuckle.
声を聞かせろ。
それはちょっと無理かな。口を聞けるような状態じゃないから。
Fuminori's dismissive words further sharpen Koji's bloodlust.
言ったはずだぞ。彼女を無事に解放しないなら。
生きているだけでもよしとしてくれよ。それとも完全に死体になったようが欲しいかい。確認するがコージ、お前は集めた資料のすべてを証拠ともども持ってこい。その内容を見て納得できたら僕らは用を引き渡す。
いいだろう。
It's obvious that this deal is a sham. In all likelihood, Fuminori is planning to kill him and bury his secrets forever. Moreover, Koji doubts that Yo is even alive. Her meat could very well be somewhere in the refrigerator, right in front of him. I don't know what's going on. This is a group of friends that turn bloodlust on each other and are all killing each other now. It's like a really long story. It's a long, convoluted story, but basically the friend that he's talking to has sort of kind of like lost his mind, but it's not technically his fault. He became kind of brain damaged after a surgery. Or no, sorry, after a car accident. He had surgery that saved his life, but it kind of affected the way he saw things, and he basically sees things like like everything normal looking is all very grotesque to him. Hello, Scout. But yeah, it's kind of why this game is sort of got like Lovecraftian influences in it. So it's like he's gone insane basically and sees everything that's supposed to be normal looks just insane to him. Everything just looks like rotting meats, like the walls are just covered in blood, guts and stuff, everything. So he lives in this kind of world that's just horrific, except for Saya. Saya was basically like his savior, his salvation, because she came to him and she looked normal to him. But our theory so far, and working theory so far, is that she's so messed up looking in real life to like normal people that she looks normal to him, Fuminori. Fuminori again is this guy's friend that I'm playing. So it's a little confusing because the point of view will shift between different characters. So right now I'm playing Fuminori's friend Koji, and he's trying to sort of like investigate and get to the bottom of what's going on with Fuminori and finding out where his girlfriend is gone, who apparently got killed by Saya. Anyways, yeah. It's very convoluted. It's too much to sum up in a very short way. Why 18 plus? Because I didn't realize when I started this game that it was actually an H game. And yeah, when I got to the first scene I was like, oh no. I didn't realize this was an H game. So I've basically been sort of trying to censor those parts when they do come up. And I've kept up with this game because I really, really want to play through the story. The story is actually really interesting, very intriguing. So I'm invested in the story now. Leered images be, you know, part of it, and all. Anyways, however, Koji isn't particularly interested in Fuminori's true intentions. After all, he has no intention of making a trade either. His only goal is to get close enough to destroy Fuminori and whatever is pulling his strings. Oh, poor Koji. He has no idea what he's getting into.
場所は
お前が僕を尾行してきた大貝教授の家覚えてるだろう今夜7時にそこで落ち合おう一人で来いよ
Same, the story is nice. Yeah. Like, how are you familiar with the beginning of it? Because I know that when you came across my stream, I was sort of more or less in the middle of the story, so you might have missed a little bit of the beginning, like Saya's beginnings and stuff, or how he met Saya and stuff. So all that was pretty interesting.
Oi!
Actually, it was actually really interesting from the get-go. So Fuminori hangs up without waiting for Koji's response. Perhaps Fuminori too has sensed his opponent's intent. If so, then he has realized that Koji is not just the hunted, but the hunter as well. If so, we're two duelists trying to gauge each other's moves. Koji smiles grimly as he pockets his phone. It's astounding how much their relationship has changed. The question is whether or not to comply with the 7 o'clock rendezvous agreement. If this were a serious negotiation, then it would be wise to avoid preempting Fuminori in any way that could provoke his anger. What Koji and Fuminori are really doing, however, is trying to lure each other into a deadly trap. Koji doesn't know what Fuminori plans to do between now and then, but he's not about to let his enemy keep the initiative. The fierce bloodlust that has taken root in his heart is more than enough to energize his exhausted body. Koji leaves the death-filled house, his stride more determined than before. I'm just wondering if there's gonna be like one more lewd section coming up, because we're kind of getting to the end of the game, I think. Well, actually no, this is one of the routes, so we'll see. I didn't realize that there would be another choice, so I am out. We can play some RE5 sometime tomorrow, like 10 a.m. for that, 7 p.m. Oh, 10 p.m. Okay. I can try. 7 p.m. is really tricky for me, just because that's like before my kid goes to bed. But we can try. We can try. Just text me. Okay. Will do. Will do. And good night, King Dingus. Thanks for hanging out, man. Today was the first time I've driven since my accident last summer. The proposition was always too dangerous to consider, given my inability to recognize roads and cars. So, okay, for those of you who are just kind of like joining in the story for this stream, this is what Fuminori sees. This is his world. So he suffers from some brain damaged condition that makes him see the whole world, or actually not even just see. He sees, smells, hears, tastes, feels everything like this. So everything is just like guts filled and horrific looking to him all the time. Good night, King Dingus. See you later. Things have changed, however, in the 3 months I've had to adapt to my condition. I know what cars and pedestrians look like now, and even though I can't exactly see colors, I've learned to decipher lights and turn signals. I still can't read street signs, of course. Nevertheless, I managed to make it safely to our destination with Saya and Yo in the back seat. It was Saya who came up with the idea for our new hideout, an abandoned building she discovered while living with Dr. Ogai. In these hilly suburban residential areas, it's not hard to find thick patches of undeveloped forest just off the beaten path. Saya's old playground is located in one such secluded area, unaffected by the flow of everyday life. It used to be a privately operated sanatorium hidden among the silent trees. After the owners went bankrupt, it remains unsold and was eventually forgotten. After I left Saya and Yo at the hideout, I returned to town to make some preparations. Now I'm finally back at our new refuge. I liked this ruin from the moment I saw it. Mountains of construction materials and garbage litter the front yard, forming a serviceable barricade. This place looks even less likely to receive unwanted attention than our house. I can't even tell if it's garbage. Since my brain sees humans as revolting monsters, places they've been tend to stink or seem covered in filthy slime. Ruins like these, long empty of life, are the places I find the most restful. It still looks gross though. I call out to let them know I'm not a stranger, then I go back down to the basement where they're hiding.
おかえりなさい。車平気だった？
So this is Saya. Saya looks like this in his world. And we don't really know what Saya's true form looks like, but the working theory is that Saya is so horrific looking that she just looks normal through his eyes.
もう全然問題ない。一方通行の標識もどういうのか分かったし、スピードさえ出さなければどこを走っても大丈夫だよ。で、そっちは？
一通り調べたけど、やっぱりあれからずっと人が来た様子はないみたい。ここは安全だよ。
そうか。ならいいんだけど。
I'm a little worried that this abandoned building could become a hideout or hangout for biker gangs or homeless people.
多分表に積み上げてあるゴミのせい。あれ普通の人間にはちょっと耐えられないんじゃないかな。
It doesn't bother me at all. I rather like it, in fact, but of course normal people would feel differently.
で、ふみのりの買い物は？
ああ、
Whoops.
もちろん。
Oh, that is a gross-looking weapon. I proudly unwrapped the weapon I just bought from a camping goods store. A 1-meter-long wood axe, the biggest and sturdiest I could find.
刃渡り15センチ以上のナイフは銃刀法違反だなんて張り紙してあるのに、その隣でこんなもの売ってるんだよ。お笑いだよね。
Saying long knives are illegal. I grip the axe with both hands, testing its dependable weight, then swing it like a baseball bat. The deadly steel blade sweeps through the air right where a person's neck would be. Yo, who's sprawled out on the floor, flinches at the sound and curls herself into a ball.
切れ味とかどう？イオで試してみたら？
That's so evil.
いや、それはちょっと。
I definitely wasn't expecting Saya to suggest anything so brutal.
心配いらないよ。今のような体だったら刃物とかの傷は割と簡単に治っちゃうから。
いや、それにしたって痛いだろ
Okay, I think I learned something. I realized something. I noticed that there are two different icons after the text, and it's taken me this long to realize this. But this icon means that it's going to flip to a new image or a new page. New scene.
そっか。うん。
Oh, that's
そうだね。
that's the change. Or I guess a new page of text. So it'll clear the text and it'll be a new scene. It must have slipped her mind completely. She smiles at the oblivious Yo as if to hide her embarrassment, then says,
でもさ、委託された時のようの声って、それはそれで可愛いよね。
いや、やっぱり人間に斧で切りかかるってのは気が引けるよ。
That's ironic that he's saying this because he is... Oh, okay, that's right. Never mind. He sees other humans as monstrous looking, so he considers Saya and Yo right now in her new body as human.
そうなの？じゃあ、コウジさんは？
そりゃだって、
It should be obvious, but I guess that Saya still doesn't understand.
奴は僕には人間に見えないから、切ろうが潰そうが平気なもんさ。
そんなに違うんだ。
そうさ。人間には良心があるからね。どんなに憎い人間だろうと、人を殺すと思うとブレーキがかかるもんだ。そこが僕の称賛でもある。
本当に？
Saya seems awfully subdued. I guess she's concerned about what'll happen when I have it out with Koji.
体格じゃあいつが上だし、普通に喧嘩したんじゃ勝ち目は薄いかもしれないけどね。でも、僕にとっての化け物退治が、あいつにとっては人殺しなんだ。こいつは大きいよ。あいつはきっと、最後の瞬間で隙を見せる。
なんだか不安なんだよね。そういう心理戦っていうの、確実じゃないっていうか。
Saya says softly, staring at the floor with unusual gravity. She raises her head and looks straight at me.
ねえ、やっぱり私が買った方が良くない？
I appreciate Saya's consideration. Even though it could be interpreted as a lack of faith in me, she's still putting my safety above hers. Nevertheless, I can't accept her heartfelt suggestion.
サヤの腕力だとさ、ヨウみたいな女の子なら楽にねじ伏せられるだろうけど、男を相手には厳しいと思うんだ。
I don't think she realizes how powerful she is. Like, she may look like this little frail girl, but maybe she's a lot more than this, than what she looks like. The bitter memory of Saya's rape is still fresh in my mind. Saya falls silent for a moment, seeming to understand what I'm thinking, but then comes right back to stubbornly press her case.
でもね、あのおじさんも最初の不意打ちはうまくいったの。
That was one thing I
大
thought
抵の人
was
間はね、作用を見たら力が抜けて動けなくなっちゃうんだよ。
that was one kind of plot hole I thought was very strange about Saya, that she was able to be raped even though she can be like a vicious killer when it comes to attacking other things, but maybe it's because she had the element of surprise in all her other attacks. I don't know.
病院だってそうだった。平気で話しかけてきたのって文則だけだよ。
まあ、それも一理あるかもな。
I can't imagine it personally, but I suppose it's possible that Saya's appearance is shocking enough to make someone lose their nerve. Suzumi was able to gain the advantage because he had the same condition as me, which let him see Saya as a cute girl. Fear doesn't necessarily make people weaker, however. Depending on the situation, it may even send someone into a berserk rage and make them harder to put down. In other words, such a tactic would be the same sort of gamble that Saya's worried about.
じゃあさ、サヤ、こういうのはどうだろうか。
When I tell Saya about the new plan that just popped into my head, her gloomy frown turns into a bright smile.
それめえやん。文則って頭いい。
I want in on this plan.
何もそこまで。
We don't get to know about it. It's not exactly a great plan, but I guess the fact that it lessens the risk to me is enough to excite her. She's so easy to please, but that's part of what makes her so cute.
で、いつ頃来るの？浩二さん。
今朝あれから電話があってさ、 とりあえず関係ない場所に誘い出してある。少しじらしてやろうと思ってね。
やっぱり暗くなってからがいいよね。
ああ。頃合いを見計らってここに誘い出して仕留めよう。ここなら誰にも気づかれないからね。
せっかく人間一人分の肉が仕入れられるのに、ここだと腐らせちゃうね。
他の動物を誘う餌にできないか？野良猫とかカラスをおびき寄せてさ。
それ危ないよ。万が一取り逃した時、よそに持っていかれて他人に見つかったら大騒ぎになるよ。
そっか。そう。
Humans are extremely dangerous, and their filthy, stinking bodies make me sick just by being nearby. Ironically, however, nothing tastes better than their meat. I truly regret having to abandon our well-stocked fridge.
まあ、この辺だと森にもいろいろと住んでるから、そんなに食事には困らないんじゃないかな。
3人分だよ。大丈夫かい？
任せて。これでもさや、狩りは得意なんだから。頑張っていっぱい捕まえてくるよ。
You know, something occurred to me with Saya's ability. If she can transform at will, like mold people's bodies, why couldn't she just like fix it so that he doesn't have to rely on meats to survive, or herself for that matter? I don't know. Or even fix his condition and also make it so that he can still see her as cute while also see everything as normal. I don't know. It's a giant gaping plot hole.
今日からはサヤが一家の大黒柱だな。
I guess there has to be restrictions to what she can do.
へへ。
Saya giggles happily at my praise. I find these childish qualities of hers adorable.
今度はどのぐらいのんびりできるかな。
Because of the casual way she says it, I almost miss the emptiness to which her questions leads.
どのぐらいかな。
Saya's right. This won't last forever. No matter how safe this hideout might seem, we will have to abandon it eventually. The slightest mistake could put our life together in jeopardy, just like when I failed to silence Koji. Some dumb kids might decide that this old ruin is a good place to test their courage, or this land might be targeted for new development. In order to be together with Saya, I've chosen to live apart from society. We will never find lasting peace in this world teeming with humans, not unless we can somehow escape from it. You could go live a hermit life in the forest or something.
長い旅だと思えばいいさ。
I pull Saya into my arms and fold my hands around her slender shoulders, then whisper.
どうせ人生なんて旅みたいなものなんだ。永遠に変わらない場所なんてない。時の流れを見送るか、自分自身が流れていくか。
そうだよね。
Saya smiles softly, perhaps in resignation, perhaps in sadness. Either way, there is peace and contentment in her expression. Story time! Hello, Hero Man 977. How you doing? How you doing? It is a visual novel, so yeah, you could say it's story time.
それでも一人ぼっちじゃないし。だから。
Whoops. I cut her short. I have no regrets. I'm doing great. How about you? I'm doing good too. I'm doing pretty good. Enjoying this visual novel, which, by the way, I have to disclaimer, seeing as you're new here in this stream, I didn't realize this when I started this game, but it is an H game, and it was very funny when I came across that first scene. I was like, uh-oh, I didn't realize this game was an Arrow game. So yeah, but I was already invested in the story, and it's actually a really, really good story. Filled with you as I'm being careful, and if you won't say anything, I won't say anything. I'm 24 knowing. No, that's not really the issue here. It's more like I know most people who are here because they're old enough, but I guess the issue is I just don't want to get in trouble and get banned for it. Right? But anyways, so I've been careful to like try and censor those scenes when they do come up, but I do slip up a little bit. But anyways, it's a good story, so I'm continuing on with it. Despite it being an H game, is adults. We're all adults here, right? But yeah, despite it being an H game, and not that I'm saying that H games are bad, this one's actually a really good one. It has a really good story. So, as long as I can hold Saya in my arms, I will gladly pay any price.
それにね、
She adds brightly, trying to cheer me up.
いつかは私たちが人目を忍んで暮らさなくてもよくなる日がきっと来るよ。
No one will know.
それは約束してあげるから。
I wonder what she means by that. You won't have to hide anymore. It sounds like a fairy tale, but for some reason, she sounds absolutely certain. Maybe she plans on taking over the world somehow.
それは明日かもしれないし、ずっと先のことかもしれない。いつ印が来るのか、私にもわからないの。
First time? For what?
ほんのちょっぴり怖いんだけどね。
I have no idea what Saya's prophetic words mean, but this isn't the first time that she's said or done something mysterious. She's performed any number of miracles already.
僕らにも希望があるのかい?
She says with a cheerful nod. It has some nice images. Remember, censor and get reported. He wants to take away the eye candy this game gives. Oh, so I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't, essentially, right?
きっとそれがさやが文則に送ってあげられる最後のプレゼント。
Oh, wait. I think something's gonna come up. No? Okay. She was talking about a present and I was like, oh no! Koji has nothing to do but wait. So now we have flipped back to Koji. So this game will flip between different views of points. Characters. It'll just flip through different characters' perspectives. He spent almost half a day in the dark, almost empty study, breathing stale air choked with mold as he strains his ears for the slightest hint of movement below. Few people could endure such a vigil, but Koji has accomplished it without complaint. If any TOS shows up, cut the stream to be like, oh sorry, over technical issue, but we fix it now. I haven't really been doing that. I mean, I'm a fairly small streamer, so I'm not like super duper worried about it. I'm sure that most people here are cool, so we're all cool here, right? I'm just not being like explicit with the scenes. I'm kind of sort of more or less skipping over those parts when they come up. If anything, the suffering is welcome, for it keeps his nerves honed to a razor's edge. Or at least like I'm just basically going over the parts that actually relate more to the story. So there has been some parts of those kinds of activities that actually relate to the story a little bit, but I haven't really been going into the very descript stuff. Without a doubt, his single-minded focus is the only thing allowing him to push the limits of his stamina. Koji understands this and embraces the pain. I won't tell. Just itching for that glimpse, right? I'm not very fast, so you'll probably get those odd glimpses here and there. Koji, let's see. His closest friend has shattered his world like glass, and now Koji feels only hate towards the madness that has replaced it, and towards himself for allowing it to happen. I'm just like, I'm looking at like my stream time. It's like, I've been into this an hour and 40 minutes. Just imagine if I had kept trying to go last night. I remember last night I was trying to finish one of the routes, and I thought I was close to the end, but it looks like there's a couple more hours still to go. And this is only just one of the routes, so there's still another route to go back to. Self-loathing is a more reliable source of willpower than any faith or resolve, no matter how noble. When he arrived at the Ogai house, Koji snuck inside carefully, hoping to perhaps take his enemy by surprise. It was only after he got inside that he realized the house was still abandoned. Even so, Koji was sure that Fuminori would arrive earlier than promised in order to set up an ambush. Could have been up until 8 AM? Yeah, probably, and that would have just been nightmarish for me. I like passed out after that. However, the light streaming through the windows turned red, and then faded to blackness, or darkness with no sign of anyone coming. Koji's patience has grown weaker and weaker by the moment. And now, the appointed time has arrived. Just as Koji's frustration is about to peak, his phone begins to vibrate and flash. Well, good games can be addictive. Well, the story was really good. I was just like, I really, really want to find out what's gonna... I want to see it to the end. Or rather, I want to see all the different endings to their end. So yeah. It's from Fuminori. He's calling rather than show up himself. Rage threatens to overwhelm him for an instant, but Koji manages to keep his voice calm as he answers.
どういうつもりだ、文則。
いやね。まさか待ち伏せなんていう無駄なことをして神経すり減らしてないか。お前のことが心配になってさ。
Fuminori says, chuckling scornfully. Like how won't blame her, she went until she finished the game. Like how I'm addicted to Dead by Daylight right now. Nice. I would have stayed until the end. I would have hated myself for it though, right? Yep, basically. Dead by Daylight is so good. I'm not good enough at that game, so it looks like a fun game though. But I feel like I feel like it would take me a long time to actually get good enough at it. The NRE Freddy is now fun to play. It's cool.
ふざけた真似を。
He tricks them.
まあ怒るなよ。当然の用心だろ。
Fuminori laughs with unrestrained malevolence, as though to emphasize that he's seen through Koji's plans. Oh, the new Freddy.
そこからほんの少し先。歩いて行ける距離の場所だよ。僕とヨウはそこにいる。まずは車に戻ってカーナビを見ろ。ドクロ番長教えてやるから。
今度こそ信用できるっていう保証は。
疑わしければ来なくていい。尻尾を巻いて逃げるがいいさ。
And Ghostface, just for the fast teabags. Them teabags. Fuminori hangs up immediately after speaking his challenge. Koji leaps out of his chair and kicks it across the room, unable to find any other outlet for his rage. He has no choice but to do what Fuminori says. His stamina is already exhausted. Only
Offside dropped some bits.
Some bits, I know. Thank you for the dropped biddies. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Some dropped biddies. I carefully picked them up. Let's see. Only his obsession is keeping him going. If he allows himself even a moment's rest, he fears that he'll never again find the strength to face this madness. So, Koji has not been resting since he was saved from the well, and I think it's been like a day or so. So he survived being in a well for like almost 2 days. He didn't get any sleep. He drove back to Tokyo, I think, and he hasn't slept because he's been on the vigil waiting for this supposed attack or ambush by Koji or Fuminori, and now he has to go over there and he's like exhausted. Maybe. Almost. Tonight is his only chance to kill Fuminori. Koji is hardcore. If I were Koji, I don't know. I would get some rest, man. But I guess he's not thinking reasonably after finding his girlfriend's, you know, dismembered parts in that fridge, so... Koji knows, of course, that his enemy is planning to ambush him. Fuminori isn't going to fight fair, but then neither is Koji. With the unsteady stride of a man half asleep, Koji leaves the Ogai house and heads for his accord. Oh no, half asleep. So he's like gone without restful sleep for a few days now. Only the base of these foothills has been developed for housing. The address Fuminori gave Koji is outside of that area in the thick forest that still covers the mountain's face. His car's GPS shows a road that leads nowhere, but according to Fuminori, there should be an old abandoned sanatorium there. It's definitely a place that no one could find, not even by accident. Maybe this next stop really will be the last. Koji drives up the steep incline, soon leaving the residential neighborhood behind. Even though the hands of progress are right at its doorstep, the undeveloped forest is darker than he expected. Toss, 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 where's the toss? I don't know, eventually. We'll see. This looks like a great place to live in secret, or to kill someone and hide the body. Places like this, lost and forgotten, aren't found only in deep jungles and hidden valleys. Holes in the world are everywhere, even in the midst of civilization. A broken down gatepost suddenly appears in Accord's headlights, like a ghost rising from the darkness. It looks like this is the final stop. Koji rolls up to the gate and turns off the engine, giving himself to the silence of the forest. His phone starts ringing almost immediately. He doesn't need to check who it's from. I love the Honda Accord 2002 in the background. Oh, that's Koji's car.
着いたぞ。
あ、聞こえてた。ようこそ我が新居へ。
That Honda. Fuminori is nearby, close enough to hear the sound of the engine. A shiver of excitement shoots up Koji's spine.
中に入ってこいよ。ようも待ってる。
Fuminori hangs up without another word. After grabbing his new flashlight from the glove compartment and checking that his revolver is still in his pocket, Koji opens the door and gets out of the car. Whoops. Mountains of trash litter the front yard, forming a serviceable barricade. Koji sees everything from small refrigerators and mopeds to huge chunks of concrete and plaster that must have been abandoned by construction workers. The fact that they could get away with leaving all the stuff behind shows just how remote this place is. The moon is brighter than usual, allowing Koji to walk through the front yard without tripping on debris. Staying alert, he heads for the building beyond the mountains of trash. Something must be buried beneath the piles of garbage, because the whole yard is filled with the sharp stink of chemicals. Even the homeless probably wouldn't come to this place. If you need to get out of the wind and rain, there are plenty of shelters more suitable. How many times has he now stood like this, alone in some ominously silent place far removed from his everyday life? Sneaking into deathly quiet houses to find traces of unimaginable happenings has become as normal as going to class. The houses that he explored before were like freshly shed cicada shells, empty and dilapidated, but with traces of the life they had sheltered. This place, however, is different. A perfect ruin, its walls and pillars rising from the dark forest like an army of ghosts, with no sign at all that people once lived and worked here. The structure resembles a skeleton more than a shell. Time and the elements have stripped it of its former shape, and now there's only death. Koji has gone as far as he can. This must be the final stop. What will Fuminori's next move be? He must be planning to kill Koji, but how? Just as he's about to turn on his flashlight, Koji reconsiders. If he wanders around with the light on, he'll be broadcasting his exact location. That will give the advantage to Fuminori, who's probably lying in wait for him right now. He holds the light before him in his left hand with his finger poised on the switch. In his right hand, he raises the revolver, keeping it pointed in the same direction. Now ready to fire when he turns on the light, Koji steps quietly into the dark ruin. Ooh, that looks creepy. I'm gonna save here just in case. It takes a while for his eyes to adjust, but even when they do, he has only moonlight streaming through empty windows to guide him. Everything appears gray and indistinct. However, Fuminori has to deal with the same conditions if he's hiding here. This is a battle of nerves, exhausting and deadly, where the first to make a sound and give away his position will lose. The rooms on both sides of the hallway are all open, some are even missing their doors. Koji creeps up to each entrance, checks to make sure no one is inside, then carefully proceeds on. The stink that he noticed in the garden has changed. Now it smells more organic, like rotting meat. It's the exact same smell that filled Fuminori's house. Ooh, gross. I wonder what he's gonna see. This is gonna change to a scene. Oh, okay, there we go. Koji freezes and stares down the hall. There was a wet sound I heard just now, like someone dragging their feet through a swamp, and it came from the room at the end of the hall. Something is there. Something alive. Koji creeps towards the sound, his light and gun at the ready. Gross. I'm guessing what they are doing with what that sound is probably yo. Now it sounds like someone squeezing mud through their fingers, and as he gets closer, Koji begins to hear breathing. Could it be Fumirori? No, that's impossible. He should be waiting for a chance to ambush Koji, not making careless noise. Yeah, I suspect that they're using Yo as a distraction. And Yo is his friend, but Saya has gone and transformed her into a monster as well. Sounds yummy. So they're probably using her as a distraction point. As he proceeds, and plus he's not going to recognize Yo in her current form, so they're probably banking on him attacking her or something. I don't know. As he proceeds, the strange sound coming through the cracks in the concrete walls grows clearer. What the hell is that noise? Sounds like bouncing. But he knows it. He's standing on the threshold. The room is filled with a thick, viscous darkness, just like every other room that he's passed. This is more than just darkness, however. Something is there. He can hear pained breathing like that of a wounded animal, and what sounds like sobbing. Sobbing?
誰だ
Koji whispers into the darkness. Now that he's given away his position, he might as well turn on his light. For some reason, however, Koji feels that to do so would have disastrous consequences. Sobbing. The last time I heard her voice on the phone, she was sobbing. The wheezing suddenly stops. And then?
Koji!
Oh my god, she's talking back to him. A whisper comes out of the darkness. Though not a human voice, not by any measure, it speaks some blasphemous semblance of human words. His mouth is dropped. A nightmarish flash of insight connects the dots in Koji's mind. Wow, he actually figured it out really quickly. Amazingly.
筑波
Tsukuba. It can't be. So, Tsukuba is her first name, and Yo is her last name. Yo doesn't sound like this. She doesn't smell like this. So, when you see Yo, it's also referring to Tsukuba, and he's looking for her.
Koji!
Oh no. Yo, but... But if it's not Yo, then how does it know his name? Why is it begging him for help? No, it can't be Yo. She's human, not some creature that slithers and hides in the shadows. She is now a Yobot. She's more like some slime monster thing, I guess. The thing wriggles closer. His reason cries out, imploring him to switch the light on before it's too late, or to turn and run if he cannot. But Koji is unable to make either choice. He can only call out in vain to the amorphous shape in the darkness.
つくばなのか直江まさかつくばなのか
Something soft and slimy slides over Koji's toes. Instinct overrides his will, forcing him to turn on his light and shine it at his feet. What do we see? The white beam reveals everything, the merciless truth that finally shatters Koji's sanity. Oh, we don't get to see her. It just shows Koji's. This is turning into some hentai shit. Not quite. This part's like just more the horror part. Terror wipes his mind of all but two words, gun and trigger. His finger responds with instant obedience. There's a burst of tremendous light and sound, both more intense than he expected, and then the destructive forces are swallowed up by the darkness. There's a lot of that here. His ears are still ringing from the bang, but he hears a weak voice coming from the shadows. Oh no, he didn't quite kill her. Koji screams and pulls the trigger again and again, believing that salvation could come only from the barrel of his gun. Also remember, I think he only had 4 rounds in that gun, unless he went and bought some more ammo. Light and darkness, explosion and silence, they dance their dance 3 more times. Koji doesn't even need to aim. The horrible creature is right at his feet, far too close to miss. Ryoko warned him how many bullets were left in the revolver, but that information has already been driven from his mind. Even after the cold, heavy gloom wraps itself around him once more, Koji keeps pulling the trigger like a man possessed, paying no heed to the clicking of the empty weapon. His panic-stricken legs suddenly give out, sending him down hard on his backside. Even then, he keeps firing the empty gun. He knows no other way to erase the memory of the thing that he glimpsed in the beam of his flashlight. The light, which fell from his hand during the attack, is now pointing in a completely different direction. I guess it's still yeah, it is 4 rounds. So he didn't think to buy anymore, and though all 4 bullets must have hit their target, they were Koji's last card to play. Oh my god. What an idiot, Koji. Which leaves him alone in the darkness with no way to defend himself. And just as he realizes this, a mass of rotting flesh rolls onto him like a tidal wave. Oh my god. He can no longer even scream as the thing pushes him onto his back. With fear seizing his throat in an iron grip, Koji struggles desperately against the monster as it crawls up his body towards his face. Covering his face with his left hand, he scrabbles wildly along the floor with his right, searching for a way out that doesn't exist. His mind is that of a feral animal, empty of everything but primal terror. And that is why, when his right hand closes around something hard at the last moment, he recognizes it instinctively as a weapon. Putting every ounce of strength into his arm, Koji swings the heavy object at the creature on top of him. No, she said itai, which means pain, or it hurts. He hears the thud of a blunt object striking something soft and wet, and then Koji's attacker rolls off of him. As soon as he is able to move freely, Koji leaps to his feet and grabs his new weapon with both hands, brandishing it like a charm to ward off evil. Only now does he realize that he's holding a rusty steel pipe. The monster is still sobbing. Also remember that Saya said that her Yo's new body, it actually regenerates really quickly, so she's probably suffering all this hurt, but it's not probably gonna kill her that easily. With a cry that is part terrified scream, part enraged roar, Koji raises his steel pipe and brings it crashing down on the cowering creature. So he's basically trying to kill his friend here, and he doesn't realize this. He hears a wet sound and feels the blood-chilling sensation of its thick, soft flesh absorbing the blow. These combine to evoke an instinctive loathing that wipes his mind of all but the urge to destroy. Consumed by the same desperation by which he kept firing the empty gun, Koji rains blow after blow down on his enemy. After the 10th blow, it stops sobbing. After the 20th blow, it stops moving. After the 30th blow, it begins to feel and sound more like he's beating a puddle of viscous liquid. She spoke to him, shake my head, yet still attacked her. Well, she did ask to be killed, so he's just kind of complying, I guess. I don't know. He did his job, but now he has no weapon except for the steel pipe. Koji doesn't stop thrashing the creature until he recovers enough of his senses to realize that whatever it might have been before, it is now nothing but a lifeless corpse. The pipe in his hand, covered with unidentifiable fluids and filth, suddenly feels unbearably heavy. 20 years of memories in the light of the sun. If they were indeed precious to him, then he should never have come to this place. The black flames of despair rise within him, consuming fear and revulsion and pity. Only rage and hate remain. Every cell in his body cries out for vengeance, for the blood of the man who poisoned him with truth and tore him from the womb of innocence. And then, Koji, slave to hate, hears the sound of someone sneaking up behind him. Koji whirls, swinging his steel pipe with all the force he can muster. His enemy hastily leaps back to avoid the strike, surprised by his failure to catch Koji off guard. Twisted shadows dance in a beam of the light on the floor. Readying his pipe for the next blow, Koji faces off against his second attacker. Before this moment, Koji could not have imagined that he would speak his friend's name with such hatred.
おいおい、今の一振り、まるっきり手加減抜きかよ。
Even now, Fuminori is smiling, as though the huge axe in his hands is just a sick joke.
参ったな。正直なとこ、お前はもう少し迷うもんだと思ってたんだけど。
迷うだと？俺が？貴様に？
Look, guys, his pipe is clean. Why is it clean? Why doesn't it have stuffs on it? What's up, corrupted Wesker? Thank you so much for the host. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Koji sneers too, unable to contain his contempt for the notion.
貴様、近江をどうした？筑波に一体何をした？それを考えてもまだ俺が貴様を殺すのに迷うだと？
そいつは言いがかりのつけ方が逆だろ、コウジ。
Fuminori growls, looking sadly at the pile of dead flesh at Koji's feet. What's up, channel?
コウジの分際
I'm
で
doing
僕の
good.
世をひどい目に遭わせやがって。世の10倍は痛めつけてから殺してやる。覚悟しろ。
I'm curious as to what Yo looks like to him, like, with her beaten up. I don't know. It seems he cleaned it up so quickly. Yo, right? That pipe is so clean. Oh, now it's dirty in this scene. It's dirty in this scene. Continuity error. The blade of Fuminori's axe carves a murderous arc through the darkness, glittering menacingly in the faint light coming from the floor. Koji raises his pipe to block the ferocious swing. The heavy impact numbs his arms, but his large frame takes the blow without giving any ground. But I thought he was supposed to be exhausted. Fuminori presses the attack, delivering a second blow and a third. His axe, designed for chopping down trees, is deadlier and more durable than the piece of pipe Koji found discarded on the floor. Each strike Koji blocks sends chunks of rust flying from his makeshift weapon. He can't win as long as he's on the defensive. He needs to create an opportunity to attack.
Come on!
Koji blocks the crushing downward swing, then pushes back hard before Fuminori can pull away, throwing him off balance. Fuminori stumbles backwards, then plants his feet to steady himself. Taking advantage of his opponent's temporary immobility, Koji delivers a punishing low kick to Fuminori's outer thigh. Fuminori grunts and retreats, swinging his axe wildly to prevent Koji from following up with another attack. Koji, however, does not press his advantage. He just stands where he is, calmly spearing Fuminori with his stare.
お前、喧嘩に慣れてねえな。
Oh. He's goading him. Fuminori roars and comes in for another attack, but the damage to his right leg seems to be slowing his swing. Easily blocking the axe with his pipe, Koji waits for Fuminori to exhaust himself. That's pretty weak, considering that Fuminori is like running on like one day, like not barely any sleep over 3 days, 3 or 4 days or whatever. He's exhausted, yet he's still holding his own against Fuminori, who's, I'm assuming, is rested, right? Fuminori delivers blow after heavy blow, howling savagely all the while. What he does not realize, however, is that the situation now favors composure, not brute force. When Fuminori raises his axe high for yet another attack, Koji sees that his movements have grown dull enough. Seizing the opportunity, Koji charges into Fuminori's range and grabs the haft of his axe with his left hand. Like I said, Koji is hardcore AF, right? He's also like a bigger guy too, so... As Fuminori recoils in fear, Koji brings his pipe crashing into his enemy's unprotected side. And he also like spent all that energy like killing Yo, like insanely. So I'm like actually surprised that he still has energy after that like fierce attack he did on Yo earlier. As Fuminori recoils in fear, Koji brings his pipe crashing into his enemy's unprotected side. He feels the crunch of ribs breaking. The pain drives Fuminori to his knees. Staring down at Fuminori's defenseless head, Koji, surprised by his own lack of emotion, raises his pipe high to deliver the finishing blow. Which is when something wraps around his left ankle. Oh no, Saya steps in. The shock on his face. The instant Koji panics at the unexpected sensation, Something soft yet strong winds itself around his right leg and drags him to the floor before he can resist. He twists his body and tries to swing the steel pipe at the unseen enemy behind him, but his right hand too is seized by the same flexible force. He wasn't able to feel it through his pants, but now his blood turns to ice with the cold, slimy sensation of the thing wrapped around his uncovered wrist. Plot twist over plot twist. That monster's still alive?
いいぞ、さや。
Fuminori says encouragingly. Even while kneeling on the floor, his face twisted in pain, he manages a terrible, victorious grin. He's relying on his girlfriend to handle the fight. Saya. That monster is Saya. Koji struggles desperately to free himself from the creature's slimy grip, but more tentacles swarm over his body, rendering him helpless. Actually, I wonder if I should turn down the music. It's like... it sounds really loud. There we go. The horror has already driven Koji half mad. Just imagining the creature's appearance is enough to send him into a mindless panic. His scream is suddenly cut off as a slimy appendage seizes his throat. This most deadly tentacle isn't just cutting off his windpipe, it's trying to snap his neck, and it's getting tighter. Oh, what kind of picture are we gonna see? Oh. Goodbye, Koji. My mind hazy from the pain, I watch as Saya feasts upon her slain prey. Okay, so we've swapped back to Fuminori's point of view. We've won. So anytime you ever see like this disgusting view, it's always from Fuminori's view, because this is how he sees the world. We've won. It was hard, and I wasn't able to do it alone, but together we have defeated our enemy. The price was steep. At least 2 of my ribs are broken, sending a sharp pain shooting through my chest every time I breathe. And then there's Yo. I didn't expect her to fall to Koji so easily. I suppose that, unlike Saya, she might have been unfamiliar with how to use her new body in combat. Well, she didn't even want to fight. My injury must have fueled Saya's anger. Her slaughter of Koji was merciless and complete. As soon as her prey stopped moving, she sank her teeth into his vital organs and ruthlessly extinguished the last embers of life. Interesting. Though her brutal, grisly actions were unbecoming of her girlish appearance, Saya's face, covered in blood and gore, was that of a victorious queen of beasts, lording over her defeated foe. There was something noble and sacred about her primal ferocity that made me reluctant to disturb her. This kind of reminds me of Corpse Party in a way, with all the psychological— yes, Corpse Party is another really cool game. I think I tried to stream that, but I never finished it. But I have played it. I was trying to finish it on stream, but I never went back to it. But yeah, Corpse Party has that same kind of gore horror feel to it. I don't know how long I've been sitting there watching Saya feast. I've nearly fainted from the pain several times. To be honest, I'm not used to violence. Really? The wounds I suffered in the car accidents were worse, of course, but these broken ribs are the most severe injury that's ever been deliberately inflicted upon me. You'd think that Saya could show a little more concern for my condition. Koji's already as dead as can be, so there's no reason for her to be so greedy. I suddenly realized that Saya has stopped eating. Now she's lying on her back, rolling from side to side. Has she eaten too much? It's been several days since we've had fresh and frozen meat, so I understand where her enthusiasm is coming from. But still, I'm wounded here. She could give me a hand. Because I'm preoccupied with my own selfish wants, I'm slow to realize that something is wrong. Saya isn't resting. She's trembling, in agony. My blood goes cold, and the pain from my broken ribs is suddenly forgotten.
Saya!
I jump up, run to her side, and cradle her fallen body in my arms. Her face is pale and drenched in sweat, and her half-closed eyelids and lips are shivering like she has a fever. What's going on? Was she wounded in the fight? Could the meat she just ate have been poisoned somehow? I don't understand. All I know is that something terrible is happening.
Saya! Saya!
What's happening to Saya? Look, she's all like clean. She's completely clean, even though she was supposed to have been gorging herself on like a body. Like, hello. The only thing I can do is call her name with all of my strength. Saya slowly opens her eyes and gazes vacantly into my face.
ふみのり、ごめん。大丈夫。大丈夫だよ。ただちょっと痛いだけ。
何なんだどうしたんだサヤしっかりしろ
There's no way she's fine. It's glaringly obvious that her condition is dire. Even so, I'm the only one who's panicking. Saya's expression is serene, as though she understands everything that is happening to her. She even smiles softly up at me. What happened from Koji's death to now? My internet bugged out. He was watching Saya gorge herself on Koji's body, and then she basically suddenly rolled over, and then he realized that she was like hurting or something, like she was kind of convulsing from agony, so she's in pain, and we don't know what's happening to Saya right now. Something is happening to her though, like that, and she's like obviously in pain.
びっくりしちゃった。まさか本当にこんなに早く時が来るなんて。
Is she dying? Maybe it's the alcohol she drank. She's a child still. No, I think by this line here, it seems like she knew that she didn't have long in this world. I might lose Saya. The thought is unbearable. Terror and despair are quickly overwhelming me. A feeling of utter helplessness that I cannot resist.
怖がらないで。昼間言ったよね。これが印。
This is more of a visual novel, and Corpse Party is like a retro exploration puzzle game if I remember. Yeah, kind of. I think you could still consider Corpse Party a kind of visual novel as well. Though it's like made out of like RPG Maker kind of style. So far I haven't seen a gameplay lol. Just, this is basically what a VN is. It's mostly just reading text. Visual novel is basically you reading mostly a story, and then you might see like the odd CG images accompanied with the text, and then there might be also sound effects and voice acting.
みのりと私の。
A game is to call a VN is very loosely calling it a game. Then yeah, it's mostly likely a visual novel if there haven't been gameplay by now. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I called this a visual novel, did I not? It's still considered a game though, I think. Or visual novels are still considered games? I don't know. Whatever.
どういうことだよわけわかんないよサヤしっかりしてくれよ
Saya answers my tearful entreaty with a smile like that of a mother comforting her child.
さやはね、頑張るって決めたの。だって、ふみのりは、さやのこと、かわいいって、綺麗だって、そう言ってくれたから。
やめようよサヤ
Whatever is happening, I just can't sit by and watch as it causes Saya such agony.
もういい無茶しないでくれ何をするつもりか知らないがサヤが苦しむ姿なんて見たくない
ひどいな。ふみのり、わかってよ。
Saya chides me. In a soft voice, she reveals her secret. The secret.
生まれるんだよ。さやと、ふみのりの
Wait, what?
子供たちが。
So she's dying for her children? For a moment, my mind goes completely blank.
そんないつの間に
私もね、びっくり。ねえ、ふみのり。
Saya's labored breathing speaks to the terrible pain her tiny body is suffering. Even so, she wraps her arms tightly around my neck.
外に連れてって。広いところ、空の下に。
I nod. What else can I do? If I speak, I'm afraid that I'll be unable to hold back my tears. I mustn't cry. Not when Saya is facing her torment so bravely. It feels like Saya is burning up in my arms, and I fear that the terrible convulsions that shoot through her at intervals will tear her frail body to pieces. Praying for her safety, I scoop Saya up and carry her swiftly out of this ruined building. Maybe the cold night air will soothe her fever, but that hope is futile, cruelly dashed as her breathing grows shallow and she moans through bluish lips.
さや、外だよ。
In response to my call, she opens her eyes once more. Her gaze is cloudy and unfocused. She can no longer see. Nevertheless, Saya looks at me. I can tell she is imagining my expression where my face should be.
約束した。これが最後のプレゼント。喜んでくれるといいな。
嬉しいよ。もちろん。
It takes every ounce of my willpower, but I manage to make my voice light and cheerful. In Saya's mind's eye, I know that I am smiling. She won't have to see my face streaked with tears.
みのり、私を愛してくれたあなたにこの星をあげます。
The planet? This world? Saya's whisper is weak and pained, but there's ecstasy in her voice. Ecstasy and joy. Her back suddenly shifts then bulges outward.
この世界はきっと綺麗な場所に
She whispers
な
in,
るから
in exultation.
さやと海のりのためだけの世界に。
And then, Saya blooms. How else can I describe it? That's kind of neat. Flower petals, long and wide, they spread from her back like the wings of a newly formed butterfly. The brilliant glow comes from the countless tiny scales that cover each petal like particles of light.
さよならなのか。
I ask her, careful to keep the sorrow out of my voice.
ううん、違う。これは始まり。
Saya's pain must already have left her, for her expression is infinitely peaceful and content.
私と海のりの世界の
Oops, I cut her off. I'm sorry, Saya. The radiant motes rise in the wind, painting rivers of light in the frozen winter sky. Are these like, what are they? Spores of her, like, her babies spreading throughout the world, and it's gonna, like, make more of her, and it's gonna basically make the world more beautiful to him. It is beautiful, overwhelmingly, painfully beautiful. Singing victoriously of their freedom, the shining seeds of light are released into the vast and fertile land. Their song heralds the coming of a new world and the destruction of the old. It is a boundless healing. It is eternal blessing. We shall fill the world with our joy.
これからはずっと一緒だね。
Always getting the sad parts. I only just cut her off a little bit, okay? You get to see this part, okay? Enjoy the beautiful CG, okay? Embracing Saya's pitifully shrunken body, I gaze into the shining sky and let my tears flow freely. Thank you. Thank you for this final gift, Saya. That's at the end. Oh, there's more. She was worried at first how long the preserved foods in the underground storeroom would last her, but now it seems that her fears were unfounded. Okay, so we switched back to the doctor who's still at Ogai's abandoned sort of retreat in the mountains. It's the liquor she should have worried about. By savoring each drop of spiritus as though it were her last, she thought she could make her flask hold out a little longer, but she must have been consuming more each day than she realized. Who can blame her? There's no way that she could have gotten through this without the intoxicating effects of distilled alcohol. After Ryoko chased useless emotions like hope and despair from her mind, she found herself spending the most peaceful days of her life. As resignation set in, even hate and fear left her. Now, she only feels awe for what Ogai Masahiko did and respect for the depth of his intellectual curiosity. After all, neither she nor this world has any reason left to deny his research. Alone in the mountain cabin, Ryoko killed time by bringing order to the documents that Ogai had left behind. She took the scattered, enciphered papers and rewrote them in a more readable fashion, eliminating redundancies and adding indexes and tables of contents. Ryoko did not intend for anyone to read them, of course. She knew full well how meaningless her actions were. With her reason to live gone, however, having something to devote her mind to was at least some relief. And now, as the last congratulatory drops of spiritus and vodka burn their way down Ryoko's throat, all of Ogai's research lies before her in a single volume. She has finally finished transcribing and annotating the last of his writings. Enjoying the satisfaction of a pointless job well done, she idly pages through the manuscript that she just completed. I shall conclude by summarizing my theory as it currently stands. The life form that I named Saya did not appear in our universe by chance, nor even as a result of my summoning, but because of the instincts that were programmed directly into her biology. She was created to fulfill the same ultimate purpose that all life shares: reproduction. Saya and her kind procreate by spreading their seeds to other dimensions. What is the probability that they will discover a doorway to another world? Even if they succeed in doing so, the chance of that world being suitable for reproduction must be even more minute. In order to make the most of that scant probability, evolution has granted them a certain advantage, none other than the astonishing ability that I have witnessed in Saya. To wit, they select the most prosperous life form that they encounter, take control of it, and in doing so, gain dominance over that planet's biosphere. In other words, they hijack the entire species. They do this by analyzing their target's genome, then writing its genetic code to remake it in their own image. Saya's biology is more than capable of inducing such dramatic and widespread mutation. There is significant probability that the target species will have evolved into intelligent life. This element may be necessary to gaining control of the planet's environment. Therefore, Saya and her sisters also plunder their target's culture and psychology. Her extraordinary learning ability and intellectual curiosity are likely instinctive tools that enable her to inherit the target species' entire wealth of knowledge. In fact, it may be that Saya's kind has always had its sights set on intelligent life. Perhaps they wait patiently for some foolish extra-dimensional species to gain knowledge of other worlds, and, in attempting to satisfy its curiosity, make contact with the outer universe in which they dwell. Rather than send Saya and her kin on their dimensional journeys with only luck and their own strength to depend on, would not waiting for such contact greatly increase the chance of fighting a world worthy of conquest? Just as I, having acquired the Silver Key, fancied myself an explorer of the unknown, how many intelligent life forms on other worlds have thoughtlessly congratulated themselves for discovering Saya's sisters? Taken by the sudden urge to go outside for a change, Ryoko gathers up the manuscript and heads to her car, which is parked in the front yard. She has completed her self-imposed final duty. There is no longer any reason for her to remain holed up at the mountain cabin. Cute little doggy, thank you so much for the host. How you doing? How was your stream? Did you get any Monhun world with Crispy done? Did Crispy ever come on? She drives a little further up the mountain to an open place that offers a scenic view of the land below. In the early days of the change, Ryoko often came to the spot to watch helplessly over the mutating city. The one flaw in my theory comes from none other than Saya herself. Nope! He never came on, oh no, even after he said he would. That sucks. After using me to learn everything she could about humanity, Saya should have finally been prepared to begin the last stage of her invasion. However, she never carried out her mission. Why? I hypothesize that Saya was an irregular among her kind. It is said that the human race's intelligence has allowed us to conquer our natural instincts. Perhaps in absorbing the human psyche, Saya accidentally inherited the disease that infects our entire species. Taco came through, lol. Shit, Gabs. No, you were trying to yell at me, weren't you? That Taco. What is human love, really? What behavior could be more of a hindrance to the efficient propagation of a species? I am reminded of how at the end of her studies, Saya consumed vast quantities of romantic literature from all over the world. She tried to understand romance as an integral part of the human reproductive process. As a result, she might have unwittingly neutered her own unparalleled reproductive abilities. After all, she had not known love. She had come to this world to rule it in our place, and had studied humanity to fulfill that purpose, but ultimately, she could not share love with a human. Saya was unable to, or without love's blessing, Saya was unable to find the passion to fill this world with her kind. In learning all that there was to know about humanity, she herself had become hopelessly human. Weary of no loneliness, she despaired of the world. How pure her maiden soul must have been. If this hypothesis is correct, then it means that I have failed as her teacher. I cannot help but feel ashamed for having spoiled such an extraordinary organism. So wait, so it comes down to if it wasn't for Fuminori looking at her and falling in love with her, she wouldn't have ended up like destroying our world. and now she has started propagating. Saya. Next to Ogai and Masahiko, Ryoko now knows more about that entity than anyone else. No, when the young man named Sakisaka Fuminori is added to the running, perhaps she only comes in third. In the end, she never encountered the creature face to face. She would have liked to have met it once, though. If Ogai's analysis of Saya's psychology is correct, then it must have been Sakisaka who restored her desire to conquer the world. Perhaps as Sakisaka's chief physician, Ryoko played some role in bringing that lonely young man and Saya together, in which case, she should have at least had the right to attend their wedding to end all weddings. Attend their wedding to end all weddings. She might have even charged them a matchmaker's fee. I have a dream that one day my daughter will know the blessings of love. I pray that there will become a day when her heart burns with the flames of passion, and the world becomes bright and joyous once more. The whole world's messed up now. When that day comes, Saya, your terrible, irresistible purpose will surely consume us, that your progeny may flourish. The whole world will know your love and be reborn. Ah, what wonders the future holds. I deeply regret that I must end my life before I can see that day come, but the footsteps of those who would destroy my dream grow closer by the hour. If I seal my lips in death, then their grasping hands will not reach you. Please forgive me, my daughter, for leaving you alone in this barren world. With the knowledge that you now possess, I know that you will find your own path. The radiance of your hard-won soul shall light the road ahead. Wait, so he killed himself to protect, Saya? I don't know, that seems like a really flimsy excuse for killing himself. Have no fear, have no doubt. March onward until you reach your answer at last. And I, Saya, will dream forever of the world that you will create. Perhaps it is the isolated environment of the mountain air. Maybe she's just more resistant to the change. Whatever the case, Ryoko has not yet become as inhuman as the creatures wriggling through the city below. She does not know exactly how many people on this planet could still be called human, but she's one of what must be only a handful of survivors who are left to watch over the end of mankind. It's getting me confused. Yeah, it's a very long, convoluted story. It's not something you can jump in the middle and really understand what the hell's going on. I'm sorry. Of course, it's only a matter of time before she changes too. So basically when Saya spread her children into the world, basically those spores or lights or whatever you want to call them from her wings, she basically spread her children into the world, and so they're basically going to take over the world. Of course, it's only a matter of time before she changes too. It's been 3 days since she chopped off her right hand, which had ceased to function as anything resembling a human hand, but the itching that has spread across her entire back is growing more intolerable by the hour. So I guess it was like a virus that infects everyone too. You need some serious deep though, even when you watch it from the start. Wait, you need some serious deep thought, even when you watch it from the start. Maybe, maybe. She could look in a mirror to see what she is becoming, but she doubts that it would make her happy. So everyone's transforming. Ryoko thinks that maybe it would be best to just go to sleep here, with the world spread out before her. When she awakens, perhaps she will be ready to descend the mountain and join in the city's revelries. Or maybe she won't even need such resolve anymore. Whatever the case, Ryoko thinks dreamily as she licks the very last drop from her flask. Yeah, even after I stop being human, I hope I'll still enjoy the taste of booze. And I think that's the end. Maybe? And the end. What's your stance on Neapolitan ice cream? Is good. Is good. I likes it. It's like the best of like 3 flavors. It's best of the worlds of like chocolate, vanilla, and strawberries put together. Though when I was a kid, I used to only want to pick out the chocolate part. And that would annoy my parents. Because like they would open up the Neapolitan ice cream and it would only have the vanilla and the strawberries left over. Akshu! Clap, 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 clap. Yes, that was the end. I don't know if that was the good end. I wanna go back. I wanna go back to that last choice we made and see where that leads. It seems like this was the good ending, possibly. Saya got to, you know, spread her seeds, and there you go. More H novels. Cool story, bro. I do have another visual novel lined up, and yes, it actually is an H series, H game. By the way, there is a way to see Saya's real form. Oh, really? Wait, what do you mean? There is a way to see it? They did show bits of it when she was fighting with Koji and she had grabbed him and you saw that CG of her wrapped around him. How? Bad ending. Oh, there's another— oh! You looked it up? Oh no, wait. Sorry, I'm mistaking. Bad ending. I don't know. I don't think this was the bad ending. Definitely the first ending I got when I played in the last stream. The first choice I made led to a very quick bad ending. I don't know, but I think so, maybe. I've looked it up to see it. There's other endings. Okay. Yeah, I think there's supposed to be one more ending because there's one more choice to make here. So I'm just waiting out the credits. I usually like to wait out the credits because I don't want to— I usually sometimes like to think that there might be something at the end and I don't want to like bypass it by clicking through. A nice short game with good story. Yeah, this was actually a really good story. And I guess, yeah, you might not call it a game. There was literally only like 2 different choice branches, so I guess that barely classifies it as a game when it has those 2 different choices. It's about as much as a game as a choose your own adventure book, right? But it was still good. It was still good. Wait, there's a support person named Moo? Merw. Have y'all seen Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba? I have not heard of this. Never heard of this. Let me look it up. Let me copy paste that. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. Anime TV series premiered on April 2019. Oh, so it's fairly new. No, I have not seen this. I have not seen this. Nezuko-chan. That anime is so amazing. I'll have to look it up and check it out. Nitro Plus art wise, nice. I do like the nice artworks. Is this logo just gonna stay here until I click it? Okay. Okay, there was nothing at the end. Okay, who cares about the localization stuff? Okay. Back for the other choice. So there's this other choice here. So I called Fuminori in that choice. I'm guessing that was the good ending then. So this will, I guess, lead to another bad ending. I guess we'll see. Because that seemed like a good ending, you know? The way it ended. The ringing of her cell phone interrupts Ryoko's labors. When she sees that the caller is Tono Koji, she unwittingly breathes a sigh of relief.
田んぼだ。どうした？
Fuminoriの家を調べました。
Even over the phone, Ryoko can hear the change in Koji's tone. His is the dull, flat voice of someone who has had all the energy beaten out of him. Special Zenitsu. Yeah, I'll have to try and remember to look it up and find something to watch that anime. Is it on Crunchyroll? Is it on Crunchyroll? Or do I have to find it elsewhere? Or does anyone know where I can like watch it, stream it?
文則は人を殺してます。
Yes. It's on Crunchyroll? Okay.
もう何人かもわからないほど大勢を殺して。
Nom nom nom. Oh. I thought he had finished saying it. His first steps into Ryoko's world has already brought him face to face with something particularly gruesome. In consideration of his probable state of mind, she decides to say nothing.
オウミもそれに多分つくばも
Koji
生きてはい
continues.
ないと思います。先生、俺が間違ってました。
Unless it's banned in Canada and RIP. I doubt it, but yeah, I'll have to check. Kiss Anime. Ooh, that's a good suggestion. Is it on there? I'll have to check out Kiss Anime then.
君は生きているうちにこの電話をかけてきたんだから、まだ致命的な間違いを犯したわけじゃない。
Ryoko says, praising Koji in her own way. Whether he is comforted or not is up to him.
ともかく、もう今度こそ間違うな。私が戻るまで動くんじゃない。君が相手にしているやつは、一筋縄じゃいかない相手だ。
With her understanding of Saya deepening by the hour, Ryoko is able to make this declaration with new confidence.
文則はもう俺が生きてることを知ってます。誰に助けられたかまでは教えてませんが、ともかく奴は警戒してるはずです。
Kiss Anime is of the enemies, adjust the pop-up ads that will probably for sure give you a virus. Then don't click on the ads. Don't click on the ads.
そうか。
It should be fine. Well, so far, I don't have any problems with Kiss Anime. Yeah, just don't, like, click on any ads and don't say okay to anything. Maybe because I use a phone? No, I think I've used Kiss Anime before. It should be fine. I don't know. It's up to you if you want to use it, I guess. Koji's actions were rash, but there's no point in regretting them now. The constructive approach would be to use the pressure that he's placed on Fuminori. Ryoko's involvement is still a secret. That makes her a wild card. Depending on how she plays it, this advantage could be decisive. But it says that there are single moms in my area. Are you looking for single moms in your area? Exactly.
先生の方は何か手がかりをつかめましたか？
I'm kind of curious if this is going to lead to a better ending than what we just went through. And anyways, on that note, well, it's not a related note, but I have to go to the bathroom, so I'll be back in like a couple minutes. I think her mic is still on. Oops. I thought I muted it. Whoops. Alright, I'm back anyways. Did you guys hear stuffs? All the stuffs? All the embarrassing stuffs.
まだ十分な量とは言えない。
Ryoko answers, glancing sidelong at the loose-leaf pages still scattered across the table. I heard some breathing. That heavy breathing.
そうだな。夜までには目処をつけて、夜半には東京に戻ろう。
I heard heavy thong. Just kidding. Every thong.
それまで君は余計なことをせず、おとなしくしていろ。いいね。
thing. The lack of emotion in Koji's voice is actually reassuring to Ryoko. I'm Sheen now, able to do whatever it takes to accomplish a single goal, the extermination of Sakisaka Fuminori. He's even willing to accept help from Ryoko, whose principles hardly mesh with his. A praiseworthy change indeed. This erotic H novel is making my breath a little hard too, but we haven't really gotten to any, like, interesting parts. So to speak. I mean, actually, no, we did earlier, but that was it. After Ryoko hangs up, she gloomily counts the stacks of loose leaf that still need to be restored. There's no time left. She'll probably only be able to get the general picture. If she has to go to a battle with only fragmentary knowledge, then there's one thing that she absolutely must decipher. Ogai's biological reports, which should contain information on the strengths and weaknesses of the organism called Saya. What's with those emotes? They're kind of creepy. What is that? Is a really creepy looking emote there, Vegeta. All she can do now is pray for luck as she dives back into the mountains of paper. I know, right? What's with all the emotes? So many emote spams. Oh my god, he has JoJo emotes. That's pretty cool. Yeah. All these emotes, all these different emotes. Today was the first time I've driven since my accident last summer. The preposition was always too dangerous to consider given my— oh, this is the same stuff that we've seen. I'm just gonna skip most of this. Well, you guys can read it, but I'm not gonna read it again. I'm lazy. This is like the exact same scene we've seen. Is it just gonna replay that part? Yeah, this is gonna replay this scene here. Oh, that's kind of a neat emote with the fireball. That looks like a Dragon Ball fireball. Oh, it totally is a Dragon Ball fireball. Hehehe, yeah, that's a cool emote. But shut up, Beavis. What the hell? Oh my god, I like that corgi, the long corgi one. I need to make something like that. And make like a long cat. Yeah, you guys should remember, for those of you who were here earlier, this is the same scenario from the other ending. I hope nobody minds that I'm not gonna read that.
おかえりなさい。車平気だった？
もう全然問題ない。一方通行の標識もどういうのか分かったし、スピードさえ出さなければどこを走っても大丈夫だよ。
Oh, those are a bunch of cool Dragon Ball emotes.
一通り調べたけど、やっぱりあれからずっと人が来た様子はないみたい。ここは安全だよ。
そうか。ならいいんだけど。
I want those emotes of woe. Then go over to apparently Majin Phil. I always wondered about like using characters that didn't technically belong to you, like for example Dragon Ball emotes. but it seems like there's a lot of streamers that use them anyways, so it doesn't seem to be a huge issue.
多分表に積み上げてあるゴミのせい。
True.
あれ普通の人間にはちょっと耐えられないんじゃないかな。
But like I see big streamers use like characters that should be what do you call them? Copyrighted. There you go. Copyrighted, and they don't seem to be having any problems. So I guess emotes aren't really a big deal to those companies that own those copyrights. They look cool. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of emotes. So many emotes. This is all one channel? No, it looks like a couple of different channels? Maybe? Or is it one channel? It's all one channel. Emotes. It's a lot of emotes. Obviously a partnered, all the same. Obviously is a partnered channel. Clearly from all that emote. Does anyone mind if I kind of skip over this part like really quickly? Since this part we already
で、
went
文成の
through?
買い物。
ああ、もちろん。
He's not partnered? Oh wow. He just has a lot of emote slots. Then. Go ahead. Alright.
刃渡り15センチ以上。
I'm going to skip these
切れ味とか。
slowly.
いや、
Just leave the TOS stuff.
でも、
I don't think there's any more TOS stuff unless this route
Yeah.
has one.
どん
ほん
でも
な
さや
Can I skip? Okay, so control is skip, okay.
で、いつ頃来るのコウジさん。
Wait, why did it
わからない。
stop?
いずれ奴の方から電話があるだろう。そしたらここに誘い出して仕留める。
Wait, why is it not skipping? This is stuff that we've seen before. Usually when you hit the skip, it's gonna skip over parts that we've seen before. More emotes. So much emotes. Oh, that looks like a different channel. The game didn't like you skipping it. Yeah. That bat face. With the Ian bat face. I guess this is like different text. We could just keep running now that we've started, but I want to eliminate Koji as soon as possible. Therefore, when he contacts me, I intend to meet with him, unless it's an obvious trap.
せっかく人間一人分の肉が仕入れられるのに、ここだと腐らせちゃうね。
I remember
Yeah,
this
so
line
nice.
though. Control? Oh, here we go. Okay, skipping. Wait, hold on. My last present to you from knowing my first and final duty. Okay. The hands of his watch move with agonizing slowness, as though counting down to the end of the world. In the hours since contacting Ryoko, Koji went back to his apartment, showered, changed clothes, and even had his first full meal in days. He wanted to take a nap, knowing that he needed the rest, but no matter how hard he tried, sleep never came. Forcing himself to relax only made his nerves colder and sharper. With nothing else to do, he decides to wander the city until nightfall. Downtown Tokyo is bustling, surrounded by smiling pedestrians, bright lights, and windows decorated early for Christmas. He feels as if all of the happiness in the world has gathered in this very place. How do you think a spider can fight a hornet or a bee? With a web? I don't know. This is a very random question. How do you think a spider can fight a hornet or bee? You tell me. Koji takes it all in, burning it into his memory like it's the last thing he'll ever see. And is the world so beautiful because of the horrors that lurk in its shadows? The glow of the city can no longer warm him. Perhaps that is why it seems so precious. Koji watches the city for hours. It feels unreachably distant, like reading the obituary of someone you loved long ago. His phone rings at 8 p.m. It's Ryoko. Their conversation is short. She hangs up as soon as they decide where to meet. And so ends Tono Koji's final night of peace. Insect combat sounds like an illegal type of show that would have passed back in the 90s or 80s. I don't know. It doesn't really sound as interesting as you might make it out to be. Ryoko arrives at the diner at 1 a.m., 1 hour later than agreed upon. She has a heavy-looking duffel bag under her arm. Koji doesn't feel like asking what the bulges represent.
すまんね。いろいろと準備に手間取った。
Ryoko doesn't sound at all apologetic, but Koji decides to just nod expressionlessly. Only a few tables are filled at this hour, like lonely islands in the midst of this vast restaurant. After sending the bleary-eyed waitress away with an order for 2 coffees, Koji and Ryoko are left all alone in a corner of the dining area.
で、調べ物は終わりましたか？
Koji asks bluntly while sipping dutifully from his 3rd cup of watery, tasteless coffee.
待たせただけの甲斐はあると思いたいね。何分確証を得るまでには至ってないんだが。
文則も相当じれてると思います。こちらから連絡すると言ったきり、丸1日放置してますからね。
So he's the one who leaves Fuminori hanging, versus the other choice.
そんなにも彼は君との接触を意識してるのか？
サヤっていう名前には露骨なほど反応してました。
In the silence that follows, Koji tries to soothe his parched throat with another mouthful of weak coffee.
そうか。やはりサヤなのか。
Ryoko mutters. It's obvious that her grimace isn't for the coffee. What about a huge tarantula versus a big Arizona hornet? That sounds pretty epic to me. Oh, okay, maybe with like bigger insects like those. But what exactly is invoking these questions? what is making you like ask these questions? I'm just interested to know what is going on there.
今なら田んぼ先生はもう答えを知ってるんですね。サヤというのが何なのか。
Koji asks, his tone almost confrontational. Ryoko tries to ignore Koji's question by nursing her coffee, but that only works until the cup is empty. Staring at the brown stain at the bottom of her cup, Ryoko says, her voice hard and flat.
君は私の忠告を無視した愚か者なわけだが、もう一度だけ証拠りもなく言わせてほしい。殿君、君は手を引いて全てを忘れるべきだ。
証拠りもないですね。
Koji replies, smiling bitterly instead of glaring at her like he did before. I don't know, Lamel. I just felt like watching a death battle. Lol, I've been watching Rocky and other fighting shows all day today. Probably why. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I actually have not watched any of the Rocky movies. Another one of those movies, older movies that I sort of have on my to-watch list. Gotta go, kitten. It was nice watching your stream. Alrighty, Hero Man. See you later, and thank you for hanging out. And have a good night.
俺がまだ先生や文則とは境界線を挟んだ反対側にいるとでも？
I'm just sorry that you're not gonna catch the other ending, although I guess you're kind of confused as to what's really going on since you didn't really catch most of the beginning of the story.
君はまだ一番致命的なものまでは見ていない。
Ah, okay. A good morning to you then, good sir. Good morning. True, lol. I mean, I suppose you could catch the VODs and catch up on the story that way, but eh.
君にとってこの事件は無二の親友がいきなり正気を失ってに目覚めたっていうただそれだけの内容なんだろ。
Or, better yet, play the game yourself. And, see you later. Peace. Ryoko continues with a disparaging smirk. That's all? The things that Fuminori has done are so horrifying that Koji's only recourse, his only hope of coping, is to kill the man who was once his friend. Yet, despite that, Ryoko makes this nightmare sound like just the beginning. Koji still doesn't understand where her morbid cynicism comes from, nor does he want to.
それだけじゃないとしたら、残りは先生の妄想なんじゃないですか。
そう思えるならまだ君の傷は浅いってことさ。
Her brusque tone says that she doesn't care whether or not Koji is satisfied with her explanation.
今ならまだ時間が君の傷を癒してくれるだろう。君は最後の一線を踏み越えていない。
Koji considers Ryoko's words calmly without letting himself get emotional like before. The final line. True, Fuminori is somewhere beyond that. Although Koji has gone far enough to be willing to kill Fuminori, he has no intention of eating his enemy's flesh once he's dead. That, at least, still separates the two. Then, what about Ryoko, who has treated Koji like an ignorant fool ever since she saved him from the well? How close is she to Fuminori?
先生の傷は俺よりも深いと。
In response to Koji's biting question, Ryoko's mocking smile turns inward.
この銃はね、実家の父のものなんだ。
Ryoko pats one of her duffel bag's bulges.
こいつがロッカーから消えたせいで、父は責任を問われて地元の猟友会から除名させられた。申し訳ないと思ってるよ。私は両親にとっては自慢の娘なんだ。それが金庫の銃を盗み出すなんて想像もしてないだろ。
Ooh, she was a bad girl. Did I hear bulgy? Bulgy? What? The bulge in the bag?
そうするだけの必要が先生にはあったと。
Oh, she got her dad in trouble.
いいや、全然。
Her quick denial isn't what Koji was expecting.
その頃にはもう鴎外のことは一見落着していた。少なくとも私はそう思っていた。奴は姿を消したきり、もう二度と私の前には現れないだろうと安心してた。この銃で何かを撃とうとか殺そうとか、そういう必要があったわけじゃない。
じゃあなぜ？
眠れなかったんだよ。ただそれだけ。
Ryoko pauses, perhaps needing time to decide how best to explain.
それまではベッドサイドにナタを隠しておいたんだ。夜一人で部屋にいるのが耐えられなくてね。
Each choice just seems to extend the light novel till forever, lol. Well, this is technically a different ending, right? This is another choice, so it's a different branch in the story. So it's going to reveal other parts of the story that we don't know. She continues choosing her words carefully.
どんなに世界が底抜けにめちゃくちゃになっていこうと、悲鳴を上げて逃げ回る以外の選択肢が自分にはあるんだって、そう納得させるためにはね。
Koji doesn't know what to say. He's amazed, impressed even, that someone with such a serious case of delusional paranoia could function as one of T University's top doctors.
でも、それじゃ大した効き目はなかった。安眠するにはナタじゃまだ足りなかったんだ。それで父の銃を盗んできた。こんな風に重心を詰めるとね、散弾がもっと広範囲に飛び散るようになって殺傷力が増すんだそうだ。
Wait, his voice scared you? Which one are you talking about? This one? Sounds like a grunt.
アメリカでも重罪になる改造なんだとさ。
Oh, even in America, it's a
私はそれを
serious
クローゼッ
crime.
トの奥に突っ込んで、
Oh
それ
god,
でよう
no.
やく眠れるようになったよ。
Hmm.
3日に一晩ぐらいはね。
One night out of 3. Wow, that smile on her face. At this point, Ryoko seems to have gotten everything off her chest. Smiling like someone who has just finished a hard job, she adds. Wait, hold on. I wanted to see the picture here, so you can actually toggle the text off. Look at that face.
銃はいいよ、本当に。相手に向かってぶっ放すもよし、それでダメなら自分の口に突っ込んで引き金を引くっていう選択肢もある。
Wow.
先生は 専門家の治療を受けるべきです。
Let's take a look at his serious face. Serious face.
端的な感想ありがとう。でもね、君だって他人事じゃなくなるよ。これ以上先に進むんならね。
Koji is already doubtful that meeting with Ryoko was the right thing to do. The one thing that he and Ryoko have in common is an unwillingness to leave Fuminori to the proper authorities. Fuminori can not only kill Koji's lover and friend, but even went so far as to defile their corpses. Koji isn't even about to give him the chance to get off on an insanity plea. No matter what crimes he must commit, Koji will end Fuminori with his own two hands. If he doesn't, he knows that he will never sleep again. It helps to have a partner in crime, but only when that partner doesn't cause trouble. Ryoko talks big about exposing Ogai's secrets, but she might just have a head full of delusions. If so, Koji needs to rethink this whole thing.
この先全てを先生に任せるというのなら、先生のこと信用させてください。
Koji says with unflappable determination.
先生をそこまで追い詰めるほどのものが、オーガイっていう男にあったという証拠を、彼が何をしでかしたのか、全て俺に見せてください。
そこまで言うかね、まったく。
Ryoko smirks and shakes her head ruefully, but puts up no further resistance. She pulls a stack of paper from her bag and hands it to Koji. The loose-leaf sheets are bound with string.
一行読んだら、続きは次のページの同じ行だ。まあ、触りだけでも読んでみるといい。
As directed, Koji looks through the handwritten pages and gives up after less than 3 minutes.
怪奇 SF の草稿か何かですか。罪のない悪ふざけですね。彼にはこんな子供っぽい趣味があったわけだ。
Koji deliberately scoffs at the document, doing everything he can to show contempt for what he just read. At the same time, he tries desperately not to remember the mountain of bones in Ogai's bathtub and the unidentifiable smell permeating Fuminori's house.
1年前、オーガイがうちの大学に持ってきた資料も、その文章と同じぐらい突拍子もないものだった。
Ryoko says, coldly ignoring Koji's disdain.
奴は大学の機材を無断で使って、こっそり検査をしようとしたらしい。
Secret research.
だが、ドジを踏んで露見した。そこから先はもう大騒ぎでね。オーガイが使おうとした機材から察するに、奴はそいつを P3 レベルのバイオハザードとして取り扱うつもりだったらしい。
I don't know what a P3 level biohazard means.
その程度の用心で十分だったのかどうかも知れたもんじゃないんだが、近隣の住民を退去させるべきだったんだが、まあそこは偉い人たちが偉い人なりに頑張って全部なかったことにしてくれたよ。
Them big shots.
その代わり私たちはキャンバス中のネズミを一匹残らず駆除する羽目になった。ネズミとかつてネズミだった何かをね。
Used to be rats? It means it's super bad, has to be contained. That P3 level biohazard? Oh, okay. Like what terminology is that under, like the military or what? A hospital? But yeah, by the sounds of it, we should have evacuated the nearby civilians. So it sounds like there was a crazy incident with the rats. Oh, there was one thing where in the diary that she was reading that Saya had experimented on rats and changed them. So at their first meeting, Ryoko brushed Koji off when he asked about Ogai Masahiko. Now, however, she's telling the whole story. Her voice is flat and emotionless as a machine's.
事の究明には結局皆が匙を投げた。オーガイが持ち込んだ資料がどういう起源のものなのか、誰にも突き止めることはできなかった。まあ結局、みんな賢明だったわけだ。
It's a scientific thing, but usually used in like actual labs. Oh, okay. This coffee scene kind of makes me want to play Catherine again. Oh man, Catherine. I really wanted to like Catherine. I only enjoyed, but then like, I really only realized I enjoyed the story portion of Catherine. I did not like the puzzle aspect of Catherine. Like I was forcing myself to get through the puzzles just so I could like go through the story parts and enjoy those parts more. So I just gave up on playing that. I never ended up finishing it. I only got like part way through in it.
理性は理性、ざれ言はざれ言。そういう線引きを危うくしないで済む程度ってもんを心得ていた。
But I did really want to like Catherine a lot. Like I own a copy of Catherine. I think actually, did I buy the special edition? No, I didn't actually. I didn't buy the special edition, but yeah, I really wanted to like it because it's got like a really cool kind of theme to it, I guess.
でもあいにく、当時の私はそこまで賢明じゃなかった。
The puzzles were fun to you? I didn't enjoy them. I don't know why. I just didn't really enjoy them. I felt like they were a bit of a slogfest to get through, and I just wanted to play more of the story portion of the game. So yeah. So I felt like the puzzles were like in the way of the game, and I was just like frustrated with it. Ryoko pauses for a moment, then grins with self-disdain so maniacal that it strikes Koji like a blow.
あれこれ探って暴き出して、私は鴎外が何をしていたのか知った。彼が関わっていた連中や彼をそそのかした連中も突き止めた。
Oh, so there was backers behind his experiments.
ナタと添い寝するようになったのはその頃からだ。この世の理性ってものがどんなにタガの緩んだ穴だらけの頼りない代物なのか理解するようになったのはね。
As though fleeing from the quiet insanity that he keeps glimpsing in Ryoko, Koji keeps finding himself paging through the loose leaf in his hands. He reads a line at random. The organism's flesh is not fibrous, but reticulated. Put simply, it is an extremely tough substance that expands and contracts not in one direction, but in all directions. This means that slashing or piercing damage has very little effect. Since the flesh can't contract or can contract in any direction freely, any wound will be sealed instantly. It's nonsense. What else can it be? If he lets himself believe it, then everything else, all the logical rules that define the world, will be rendered meaningless.
じゃあ先生は信じるんですね、この内容を。
疑う理由なんてとっくの昔に見失ったからね。
Ryoko reaches into her duffel bag again, this time removing a stainless steel thermos that looks able to hold about 500 cc's of liquid.
こいつが鞘を倒す切り札だ。調達するのに手間取ったが、多分こいつは敵面に効く。
ついていけません。
Koji snaps, no longer able to disguise his frustration.
鞘が何だろうともうどうでもいいです。俺は文則を終わらせることができればそれでいい。
そうか。
Now that she's given up on persuading him, her ascent is swift and cold. At this moment, Koji's fate has likely ceased to matter to her.
いいだろう。君は先坂文則を仕留めるために全力を尽くすといい。私もその気に乗じさせてもらうとする。
So I wonder if there's a... They tried auto mode. Is this automatically going? It's not autoing.
君の邪魔はしないし、君が仕損じた時にはきっちりと私が帳尻を合わせてやる。
The automatic mode is not working. Despite the determination in her voice, Koji can't bring himself to trust this paranoid doctor completely.
あなたの持ち合わせている理由で文則を殺せるんですか？
潔癖症なんだよ、私は。ああやって人の世界の拉致外に隠れ住んでいるような奴らが我慢ならない。
Lurk.
奴らは寝室のゴキブリだ。枕元でカサコサ這い回る音を無視して眠れるか？見つけ次第殺して駆逐する。そうせずにはいられない。私の精神衛生上の問題だ。
Her reasons are similar to Koji's own. He doesn't want to bring a murderer to justice, nor does he want revenge for Omi and Yo. If he did, he could have left everything to the police. The reason he can't is that the villain is Fuminori, the man he believed was his friend, has turned his whole world upside down. Everything and everyone with a part in this madness is to blame, and that includes himself for allowing the betrayal. His self-loathing, his desire to destroy, is what's keeping him on his feet.
さあ、それじゃあチェックメイトに駒を進めよう。咲坂君を呼び出すといい。
Koji nods, pulls out his cell phone, and calls his friend for what will probably be the last time. The call goes through quickly. He must have been waiting for it.
待たせたな、文則。こっちの準備は整った。
コージ、今どこにいる？
This is definitely a very different conversation from the other route. Fuminori must have been quite anxious to hear from Koji. His voice is hard and completely emotionless.
お前のすぐ背後とでも言っておこうか。
Koji can't help but smile at Fuminori's disappointment. Perhaps Ryoko's maniacal sadism has rubbed off on him.
で、筑波を解放する決心はついたのか？
ああ、背に腹は変えられない。
He's lying, Koji thinks, remembering the contents of Fuminori's refrigerator. Just what part of Yo did you eat, Fuminori? Did you carve that poor girl up like a pig?
コージ、お前は集めた資料のすべてを証拠ともども持ってこい。その内容を見て納得できたら、僕らはヨウを引き渡す。
いいだろう。場所は？
まずは応戦の Y 駅まで来い。そこでお前が一人なのを確認してから、詳しい場所を教える。
念の言った話だな。
妙な細工はなしだ。45分以内に来い。
Fuminori hangs up without waiting for Koji's response.
俺が単独なのを確認するまで居場所は教えないつもりみたいです。
ただの医大生にしちゃ心得てるな。感心だ。
Ryoko's praise sounds serious, drawing a glare from Koji.
私の車はここに置いていこう。殿君、君の車のトランクに人一人が入る隙間はあるかい？
This sounds a bad idea to hide in the trunk.
大丈夫ですが。正気ですか？映画の見過ぎですよ。
そんじょそこいらの映画よりは危険な冒険なんだよ、これは。
With those bold words, Ryoko grabs her duffel bag and rises from her seat.
で、この店を待ち合わせに選んだのは君だったな。
そうですが、何か？
コーヒーの責任を取れ。
She says and tosses him the check. So nonchalant. That Ryoko? Even after Koji arrives at Y Station as directed, Fuminori calls him and makes him change directions 3 more times. Koji is beginning to doubt that Fuminori is trying to make sure that he's alone. He might just be using the time to guess when Koji arrives at each designated location. Nevertheless, Koji can't let his guard down. Fuminori might choose any moment to make sure that he isn't bringing any help. If he makes a mistake and puts Fuminori on alert, Ryoko will lose her chance to take him by surprise. She'll just have to put up with the cramped trunk for a little while longer. After the nature preserve and the dry riverbed, the fourth location to which Fuminori sends Koji is in the thick forest at the top of the foothills, high above the developed area at their base. His car's GPS shows a road that leads nowhere, but according to Fuminori, there should be an old, abandoned sanatorium here. The park and river were empty this late at night, but during the day, would likely have considerable traffic. This time, however, his instinct is telling him that it's definitely a place that no one could find, not even by accident. It looks like this is the final stop. Koji drives up the steep incline, soon leaving the residential neighborhood behind, even though the hands of progress are right at his doorstep. The undeveloped forest is darker than he expected. I wonder if this part I can skip. Okay, no, we're not skipping this. Okay. This looks like a great place to live in secret or to kill someone and hide the body. Places like this, lost and forgotten, aren't found only in deep jungles and hidden valleys. Holes in the world are everywhere, even in the midst of civilization. A broken down gatepost suddenly appears in Accord's headlights like a ghost rising from the darkness. It looks like this is the final stop. Koji rolls up to the gate and turns off the engine, giving himself to the silence of the forest. His phone starts ringing almost immediately. He doesn't need to check who it's from.
着いたぞ。
ああ、聞こえてた。ようこそ我が新居へ。
Oh, this is all familiar? Oh, here we go. After grabbing his new flashlight from the glove compartment and checking that the revolver is still in its pocket, Koji opens the door, making sure to pop the trunk at exactly the same time. Ryoko shouldn't need any more explanation than that. Realizing that the interior roof light will stay on and the broadcast that the trunk isn't closed, Koji quickly unscrews the bulb, then gets out of the car and deliberately slams the driver's side door hard. Oh, okay, I see. How does he unscrew the bulb really quickly? I'm interested to know how he did that. But that's fast thinking. Mountains of trash litter the front yard, forming a serviceable barricade. Oh, can we skip this part? Oh, no. Okay. Glancing sidelong at the rear of his car, Koji sees no movement inside the barely opened trunk. Ryoko knows that what she's doing. She'll probably wait until Fuminori's attention is focused on Koji before making her move. The moon is brighter than usual, allowing Koji to walk through the front yard without tripping on debris. Staying alert, he heads for the building beyond the mountains of trash. When he reaches the gaping, doorless entrance to the building, Koji glances back the way he came. His Accord parked at the gate is hidden behind the mountains of trash. Even if Fuminori is watching from inside the sanatorium, he shouldn't be able to see Ryoko crawl out of the trunk. It looks like she'll get her chance to take him by surprise. How many times has he stood like this, alone in some ominously silent place far removed from his everyday life? Okay, this stuff we can skip. The organism's flesh freely expands in a manner that renders piercing damage meaningless. Meaningless, meaningless. So I guess he's remembering the words he read. Koji grits his teeth and forces the madman's words out of his head. What good can come of taking them seriously? This isn't the time for such useless... that squishing noise. Koji freezes and stares down the hall. It was a wet sound that he heard just now, like someone dragging their feet through a swamp, and it came from the room at the end of the hall. Something is there. Something alive. Koji creeps toward the sound, his light and gun at the ready. I wonder if we can skip some of this part. There we go. Okay, so he actually still ends up killing Yo after all that. You still haven't seen the most damning part of all this. Ryoko's voice plays back in his head, and alas, he knows how merciful her warning was. Now that his eyes are as open as hers, he's able to laugh in contempt at his own foolishness. Yeah, it looks like it's all the same so far. 20 years of memories in the light of the sun. If they were indeed precious to him, then he should never have come to this place. The black flames of despair rise within him, consuming fear and revulsion and pity. Only rage and hate remain. Every cell in his body cries out for vengeance, for the blood of the man who poisoned him with truth and tore him from the womb of innocence. And then, Koji, slave to hate, hears the sound of someone sneaking up behind him. Koji whirls, swinging his steel pipe with all the force he can muster. Okay, we're gonna see what we can skip here. Oh, the fight again. Koji struggles desperately to free himself from the creature's slimy grip, but more tentacles swarm over his body, rendering him helpless. The horror has already driven Koji half mad. Just imagining the creature's appearance is enough to send him into a mindless panic. His scream suddenly dies as a slimy appendage seizes his throat. This most deadly tentacle isn't just cutting off his windpipe, it's trying to snap his neck, and it's getting tighter. Koji is certain that this is the end, but just as his vision begins to dim, an explosion brings him back to his senses. Oh, hey. So he got saved this time. With a horrifying, inhuman scream, the creature releases Koji and retracts its tentacles. The first thing he sees after regaining his mobility is Ryoko running down the hall with a smoking shotgun in one hand and a silver tube in the other.
Sensei!
Ryoko responds by tossing him the tube. Though still lying on the floor, he manages to snatch it out of the air. It's the thermos she showed him at the restaurant, the one she called her secret weapon.
そいつの中身を奴にぶちまけろ!
Ryoko shouts to Koji. At the same time, she aims her gun at Fuminori, who's still on his knees 5 paces away. The double-barreled shotgun still has 1 shot loaded. The monster that attacked Koji is writhing in agony. It hasn't yet recovered from Ryoko's shot. But he's already seen that bullets aren't enough to kill these creatures. Now is his only chance. Fuminori growls, gritting his teeth against the pain of his broken ribs. Forcing himself to be calm, Koji stands and carefully unscrews the lid of the thermos. There's no question in his mind that something extremely potent is inside. As soon as it is unsealed, a thick white mist pours out of the thermos and the surrounding air turns freezing cold. Instantly guessing what's inside, Koji lobs the thermos at the pile of flesh convulsing on the floor. The thermos sails through the air, spewing white fog, and like a baptismal font showers its liquid contents upon the hellish creature. Oh no, poor Saya. Its scream this time is incomparable to before. The monster thrashes in agony, wreathed in white smoke. Its screams are joined by Ryoko's cackling. My ears, I'm sorry.
どうよ、マイナス197度だよ。ねえ、冷たい、熱い、ざまあないわね。
She looks so insane in this image here. It's awesome. Her eyes blaze with manic glee, as if to say that sanity was a small price to pay for the joy of at last vanquishing her nightmare. Fuminori staggers to his feet, roaring black curses. His rage seems to have drowned out the pain of his broken bones. Ryoko is not one to underestimate the threat posed by his axe. Her mad laughter fades away, leaving only a cold smile as she pulls the trigger. With a short burst of dark flame, Ryoko's gun sputters and dies. Oh no! Her face. Ryoko is not an expert on firearms, and it never occurred to her that shotgun shells need proper storage, and besides, she always expected that any situation where her gun would be necessary would also be one that she would not survive. Cursing in anger and dismay, Ryoko breaks the shotgun open and awkwardly pulls the dud out. Meanwhile, Fuminori stalks towards her like a vengeful demon, the head of his axe screeching as it drags along the floor. I have to stop him. Koji tries to charge Fuminori, but only succeeds at sending himself sprawling. One of his shoes is stuck to the floor, frozen by the liquid nitrogen. As Ryoko fumbles in her pocket for a new shell, Fuminori closes the distance and raises his axe in both hands. Koji curses and rips his shoe free of the frozen concrete, but he knows that he'll never make it in time. Oh no! Ryoko thrusts a new shell into the chamber of her shotgun and snaps it closed and looks up to find her target. Fuminori is right before her, too close to evade, and his axe is already crashing down with the wind howling in its wake. Oh gosh. The sounds of bones shattering, tendons snapping, and flesh tearing blend together in foul harmony. Oh, it sounds like they hit their mark. The thick blade enters through Ryoko's left shoulder, plowing through her collarbone and shoulder blade, smashing several ribs and popping her lung like a balloon before stopping in the center of her chest. Her expression frozen and shocked by the impact, she sprays a geyser of blood from her mouth. She should have died instantly, but through some unimaginable force of will, Ryoko clings to life for a few seconds more. Grinning through her blood-stained lips, she raises her shotgun. Oh man. Not to the front, but to the side. Beyond the barrel of the gun, wearing the 77-degree Kelvin mist like a white cloak of death, is the weakly wriggling Saya. Fuminori's scream vanishes into the roar of the shotgun. The destruction is absolute. The impact of the shotgun pellets obliterates the half of Saya's body that fell prey to the liquid nitrogen. The frozen particles of Saya's shattered flesh drift to the floor like snow. Even the creature's special biology is insufficient to seal a wound of this size. From the opening pour its internal organs, a tide of liquid, slime, and fat, whose color is far too foul to belong to any living creature. It's the adrenaline limo. Well, she's also insane too, right? That insanity is driving her will to live long enough to pull that trigger. The monster convulses, wailing in a weak, pitiful voice.
Saya.
Oh no, so this is like sort of... See, I would probably consider like... I guess this is like the alternative ending you would consider this. This is where Saya dies and doesn't get to breed, or rather not breed, birth her children. And ultimately, maybe this saves the world? I don't know. With his axe still buried in Ryoko's body, Fuminori stares at the dying creature, his expression utterly devoid of emotion. Koji grabs his pipe and prepares to attack Fuminori from behind, but freezes when he sees the emptiness on the face of the man he hated. Fuminori pulls his axe out of Ryoko's corpse, then looks at Koji with glazed eyes. There is no recognition in them, nor hate, nor rage. When Koji meets Fuminori's blank stares, he knows. There's nothing left in him to kill. Fuminori grips the axe closer to its head and raises it high, the blade towards his face. Oh my god, he kills himself with an axe? GG gamers. Grips the axe closer to its head and raises it high. Koji doesn't know whether he should interfere, but even if he wanted to, what could he say to stop Fuminori? Fuminori pulls his head back, slowly but surely, then drives his face into the blade of the axe like a spring-loaded toy. His crunch. His skull caves in with a dull, wet sound, and the spray of blood catches Koji in the face. Despite Fuminori's utter lack of hesitation, his first attempt at suicide only succeeds in transforming his face into a hash of crimson. Fuminori pulls his head back one more time, even slower than before, and with every ounce of strength still left in his body, he slams it into the blood-stained axe. The sound is wetter than before. Fuminori's body goes limp, then tumbles face first to the floor. Koji stares at the two mangled corpses for a while. He feels completely left behind, like he can't remember why he's standing in this place with a steel pipe in his hand. The stale air filling with the ruined building becomes choked with the stench of blood, and the crimson puddles gradually spread across the snow-covered floor. Yet, the tranquility of the scene makes it seem like a painting. A soft, slimy sound breaks the silence. Koji looks at the mortally wounded monster. The creature is on death's door, but even so, it moves. Slowly, feebly, it drags its broken body through the sea of blood. It's coming for Fuminori. Koji had forgotten his anger, but now it comes surging back at full force. He growls and stabs the monster with the end of his pipe. It convulses in agony but keeps crawling towards Fuminori. Koji explodes into a frenzy of rage.
死ねえよもう死んでろよこれ以上文則に使えるんじゃねえよ
But he's still protecting Fuminori? Again and again he smashes the helpless flesh beast with his pipe. Something tells him that if he does not stop it here, he will truly have lost. The monster, however, never succumbs. It struggles on beneath his blows until finally it reaches Fuminori's corpse.
触るな文則に触るなてめえは何様だってんだよああ
Koji keeps swinging, his fury unabated even as tears start to pool in his eyes. The monster's slime flies through the air, joining with the blood already covering his face. The creature extends one thin, trembling tentacle to touch Fuminori's shoulder, then lovingly caresses his blood-stained cheek. And then it stops moving. Even in its final moments, the monster would not let Fuminori go. It died joined with him. At last, Koji knows that the world he knew is lost forever. Wait, I thought we were supposed to see Saya's true body. True form here. Oh, here? Maybe?
ねえねえ、今度のスキーだけどさ、今年はどっかスケートも遊べるところにしない？
What the hell? Omi's alive? Exposed bones of her face. Chunks of her body are missing, as though something's been nibbling on her. It makes her look a lot thinner. She's been worried about her weight recently, but now she shouldn't need to diet.
そういえばオウミって、この間初めてスケートやったんだって？
Fuminori laughs at Omi's crazy suggestion. He sounds amused, but it's hard to tell from his expression, since his face has been cleaved in two by an axe. They couldn't be bothered to draw that part of him.
20歳になって初体験ってのは、興味そうそういないんじゃないかな。
So this is definitely probably the bad ending, or another bad ending. So the other ending was actually probably like the true ending.
子供の頃はなんとなく怖かったのよ。あの靴、なんだか刃物みたいでさ。
This, by the way, is going back to the conversation they had in the very beginning of the game where they were sitting there talking in the cafeteria.
うん、わかる。あの靴で顔を蹴られたら、きっと僕みたいになっちゃうよね。
And it looked like me. Omi and Yo laugh at Fuminori's dumb joke. Yo never used to laugh with such exuberance. She seems truly happy now that she and Fuminori are officially together.
でも、いきなり蹴って殺せたの？オウミちゃん、すごくない？
What?
容量はバットとそう変わるもんじゃないからな。思い切り振り回して、斧頭の重さに任せて叩きつける感覚とか。
海のりにそう言われたもんだからさ、騙されたと思ってやってみたわけよ。そうしたらもう楽しくって。
This is so twisted. What is this feeling? Something is wrong, though Koji can't put his finger on what.
私も見てみたいな。オウミちゃんが食べられるところ。
Oh, Debated. Here's your vor, bit of vor here. Ah, that's it. When he sees Ryo's envious smile, Koji finally realizes what's bothering him.
なあ、つくば。
どうしたの、コウジくん？
お前だけなんで普通なんだ。
Yo tilts her head quizzically, like she doesn't understand what he means. Oh, nice. He remembered.
普通って私はいつも普通だけど。
Uh-huh. Normal, huh?
でもお前、確かあの時。
ああ、うんうん。
Yo nods in understanding.
なんだ、私がコウジくんと違う姿になってた頃のこと？ずいぶん昔の話じゃない。
昔なのか？
そうだよ。
She replies, deflecting Koji's confusion with that uncannily cheerful smile.
だってコウジくんも今じゃ私たちの仲間じゃない。
One of us. One of us.
ああ。
What, squishy? Oh, of course. Koji looks down and is satisfied to see wriggling tentacles where his arms and legs should be. What the? When he opens his eyes, his mattress and pillow are soaked in sweat. It's always the same nightmare. He doesn't know how many times he's had it, but at least he's not leaping out of bed screaming anymore. So it was all just a dream. Hold on. I'm gonna turn off my fan here. Did that not work? I was trying to mute my mic and it didn't. I guess I'm pushing it twice inadvertently. This was all a dream. What the fuck? No, I'm imagining that the dreams are after all that stuff has happened. So he's having that dream after having that final battle with Saya and Fuminori and stuff like that. He sits up, clutching his throbbing head. It's 4 in the morning. He hasn't had nearly enough rest, but he probably won't be able to get back to sleep tonight. Time for a smoke. A full pack will last him until dawn. Now, where did he put the pack he bought yesterday? What the fuck? A full pack will last him until dawn, and we assume dawn is like 6 a.m. So he smokes a whole pack in 2 hours? Talk about chain smoker. Chain smoker. Koji wanders sleepily into the den, where yet another old friend is waiting for him.
ひどいありさまだね。
ああ、先生。いたんですか。
Ryoko? Ryoko's chopped up corpse is sitting at his dining table looking as deathly pale as ever as she sips coffee from a mug.
毎晩ずいぶんと辛そうじゃないか。ろくに眠れてないんだろ？
What a G.
そうでもないですよ。薬を飲めば割となんとかなります。
I guess he went crazy. He's talking to corpses. Koji says amicably as he sits down across from her. Hallucinations like these are easier to deal with than elaborate nightmares like the one he just had. They should probably worry him more though, so he knows it's the hallucination.
あの時私の忠告を聞き入れてれば、ここまで追い詰められることなんてなかっただろうに。
もうやめましょうよ、それは。過ぎたことじゃないですか。
Ryoko chuckles, smiling the same cruel, manic smile that she used to when she was alive. Her left arm hangs from her half-severed shoulder, dangling like a forgotten wind chime.
そう。結構折り合いをつけてるんだ。
先生だってそうだったんでしょう。普段は優秀な脳外科医で通用してたんだから。
上辺だけ取り繕うだけなら、そんなに難しいことじゃないからね。
Like he's doing? The corpse shrugs her intact right shoulder and grimaces in disgust as she takes another sip of her coffee.
でもね、多分この先はもっと悪くなるよ。心の傷は時間が癒してくれるけど、君はまあ、言ってみれば、毒に感染したようなものだから。
Instead of actual cigs in my cig pack, I replaced them with joints with black rolling paper, so it looks like I'm smoking black cigs, but I'm really getting high as fuck. That's pretty funny. She's probably right. My type of guy. I guess if someone was close enough to smell exactly what you're smoking. Everyone dreams at night. No matter how dim the memories may get, the nightmares will always be there to tear into Koji with fresh fangs. The insanity that has taken root in his heart will grow, eventually consuming everything that's left inside of him.
俺の場合、先生っていう前例を見て学んでますからね。抜かりはありませんよ。
You know what? He's the only one that came out of that whole fight alive, so it's like he has nobody to like tell about this. He has to like harbor this dark secret, and I guess he just like leaves the bodies there at that place because it's like remote, I guess.
へえ、そうなの。
I don't know. Man, I wish we didn't smell so much that people can tell you're smoking weed, you know? Lol. Koji nods, smiling confidently, then stands and walks to the bathroom, where he retrieves the weapon that he keeps hidden behind the mirror. Ogai's revolver, the one souvenir that Koji brought back from the other world that night.
ものすごい苦労したんですけど、結局、ようやくその筋の人と渡りをつけましてね。
I just get wax pans. We got some here that smell like honey. That's interesting. I don't know much about pens though.
弾も買ってあります。驚きましたよ。銃そのものより高いなんて。
Is that true? Ammunition can be more expensive than the gun? But I want to use my cool lighters. Them cool lighters.
おやおや。
In the mirror, Koji sees Ryoko with her axe-inflicted gash reversed. She raises her mug in a toast to Koji's resourcefulness.
で、何発買ったわけ？弾は。
I feel that.
一発だけです。
Oh, he bought just one shot. This is pretty predictable. This time, it's Koji, who shrugs his shoulders. He uses both, exercising his privilege as the survivor.
それ以上必要になるような状況は、俺は願い下げなんで。
The
corpse on the mirror nods sagely, her smile approving.
ほんと、わきまえてるんだね、殿くん。
There's a brief silence. Koji didn't really feel like getting all melancholy with the corpse.
ねえ先生、いい加減ファミレスのコーヒーはやめましょうよ。なんなら新しいの入れますから。
When Koji turns around halfway through a sentence, he realizes that the room is empty but for the silence of the night. I kind of wish that I chose this route before I chose the other route. Because this one seems like a bit of a downer route. And so, Koji returns to the world of the sane. He lights his first cigarette of the night and takes a deep drag. While sitting alone in his den, puffing on his smoke, he stares at the gun in his hand. He knows just how precarious a cliff he's standing on. The final line of which Ryoko spoke of is now one step behind him. Koji no longer has anything to protect his soul. Now that Ogai Masahiko's fantasies and Tanbo Ryoko's delusions have all become tangible horrors, he knows what insanity and despair truly are. Back in the real world, Sakisaka Fuminori is wanted for several gruesome murders. It didn't take long for someone to discover the stockpiles of human meat in the empty Sakisaka and Suzumi homes. In the 2 refrigerators were found the remains of Suzumi Yosuke, his wife and daughter, and Takahata Omi. They found the clothes and other effects of Tsukaba Yo, but were unable to locate any trace of her among the various body parts, a fact that made Koji's nightmares all the more vivid. Yeah, ammunition for certain guns are custom made, so each bullet can go for around $200 depending on the gun. Like a minigun that can shoot custom cartridges at 10,000 rounds per minute, so shooting it for 12 seconds can cost 400,000 grand. Oh my god, what the hell? That's mind-blowing. That's a very expensive... Those are very expensive rounds. Dr. Tanbo Ryoko, the T University Hospital, vanished mysteriously around the same time. Because she was Fuminori's chief physician, the police have been investigating her connection to his crimes. As for the 2 corpses secretly buried in the backyard of a certain ruin, well, they'll probably never be found, and this incident will become just another cold case. 2 corpses. Oh, I guess it's Fuminori and Ryoko's corpses? Koji alone knows what really happened, and he has no intention of revealing it. Not now, and not ever. Ogai's writings were not nonsense, which means that everything else was. What fool was it who said that men are the lords of creation? Those who can believe in paltry things like human wisdom and valor are those lucky innocents who have not looked into the abyss. Koji can no longer share in their blessed ignorance. He knows. He's been defiled by the insanity called truth, and he will never believe again. If he has been poisoned, as Ryoko's ghost said, then that poison is none other than the truth itself. Just as pure oxygen is harmful to the body, the naked truth has the power to destroy men's minds. Only by diluting it with lies and taking it in small doses can humans maintain a healthy soul. Healthy. Words once spoken by the living Tanbo Ryoko passed through Koji's mind. That's why once you hear a gun can only fire custom rounds, it kind of kills buying the weapon. But overall, it's really rare nowadays since they make minigun and other weapons fire normal bullets for cheap. Ah, I see. Custom rounds. It's like, if you were to get into that hobby, I suppose it's like you probably would want to learn how to make your own rounds then for that custom gun. That, without a doubt, was the comfort that she kept hidden in her bosom, the only thing that allowed her to face her dreams each night. What was in her bosom? Koji has taken his predecessor's lessons to heart. He's prepared for anything. One bullet is always behind the bathroom mirror, promising him salvation. Oh my god, that's it? Oh, that was a depressing ending. That was a really depressing ending. But essentially he kind of saved the world in a way, like, from being taken over. Unless you want to look at the other ending as being, you know, good for mankind as being taken over. You ever watch Meet the Heavy? Lol, it kind of explains it. Is that a Team Fortress video? Meet the Heavy? This sounds kind of familiar. I might have TF2. Oh yeah, TF2. Okay. I think I might have watched those movies, but that was so long ago. It's kind of hard for me to believe that TF2 is like really pretty old now. Like, how old is it now? TF2. Initially released in 2007. So it's now 12 years old. He's so old. Not exactly retro yet, but yeah, it's a pretty old game now. Alright, that was it. That was the other ending to this game. I think. Although wait, someone was saying that we get to see Saya's true form, but we didn't actually really see anything in this version. Man, I was 8 years old when it came out. Oof. 2007. Damn, you're really young. Guess you gotta look up what she looks like. Really? Really? Are you sure that it was like official artwork and that was contained within the game? I'm kind of curious now. Now I kind of want to go through the let's see, the CG list, but I don't want to. I gotta be careful with looking at the CG list with you guys. Hot slime girls. Ooh boo. Did I miss it? Like, I don't remember seeing her pop up in this ending. But, okay, whatever. CG, like, oh, no. Going back. Going back. We're not gonna look at that. Yeah, those are the only two options in the game, so I think that was it. For all the endings, right? But yeah, I guess I will have to look that up. Actually, you know what? I'm curious now. Saya true form? I don't see any version of her that shows like her true form. It might be like fan art, possibly. Oh well, whatever. Oh, this thing? It's a 4chan thing. That looks... Okay, I saw that in the Google search, but that possibly might be fan art. But how do you know for certain that that's her? Man, she looks pretty horrifying. She looks like very alien-like. Ew. that's who Fuminori was banging all this time. Alright. But I think I'm gonna, yeah, I'm just getting busy with that. Like I don't even want to know like what it looked like in real, like to normal people, what they were doing. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call the stream. Man, that was like 4 hours more of content. Like, I can't imagine if I had tried to push through to try and finish all of this game yesterday. What do you mean, aw? What do you mean, aw? It's been like, it's been almost 4 hours. It's been almost 4 hours, and I've done a lot of reading. My throat's like really dry. It's dry. Unless you guys want me to play something else. It is a little early. But what could I play? I don't know. I'm also kind of hungry, so and that's kind of hard to do while I'm playing a game. So, yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna call it. I'll try and do an earlier stream tomorrow, possibly. It sounds like King Dingus might want to do RE5 multiplayer, so we'll try and get going on that. But sounds fun. Oof. Well, I had another VN lined up, but I don't really feel like starting it today. Not after 4 hours of playing this. So yeah, you know what? We're just gonna call it. We're gonna call it. We'll do a stream tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we're gonna try and raid somebody. Sorry, if it sounds like my voice is like far away, I'm turning towards my other monitor, and yeah, hopefully I'll get a better setup with my mic going. I Dingnate the meow. Thanks for your understanding. I think it's a good note to leave off on. But let's see who is on that we can raid. Just hang tight. Maybe we'll find someone that we can raid and you guys can carry on with them. Good night all. That was a good story. It was. I kind of just wish that we had done the endings the other way around so that we could have ended a more bittersweet note with the other ending. I like that other ending better. This ending that we left off on was like kind of very depressing. Not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm gonna look it up and see if that was it afterwards. I'm pretty sure that's it though. You know what? We're gonna go say hello to Dog Pirate. He's playing some Monster Hunter World. That looks like an interesting game. I kind of contemplated playing that one, but I think that's a subscription type game. I tend not to really play go for like subscribe type games, subscription based games. But here we go. And thanks to everyone who came out to see through the end of this stories. And I will see you guys in the next stream. Good night, everyone.